Now we're recording.
Son of a bitch.
I kept looking at it. I was like, something's not
God
right here.
damn it.
It's all right. You just all right.
Let
What's
me
your
roll
first pick?
into my scenario all over again from the beginning. Hey, gang. Poprika Podcast here. We're doing our summer Blockbuster draft. I'm going to abridge this shit. Here's the deal. Summer Blockbuster draft. The summertime is the perfect time for summertime movies. Like, this is when you have fun with the peoples. This is when you see fun shit. This is when you just turn your brain off in most cases and throw a giant bucket of popcorn in the face. This is what summertime fun is about. And we're here to draft fantasy football style our list of summer blockbusters. If you've never listened to one of our drafts, we're going to do, like I said, a fantasy football style and figure out who can draft the best list of 10 summer blockbusters. The scenario is 4 of us have theaters, and our overlords, let's call it Regal, our overlords have tasked us with drafting the most fun list of movies to run through for a weekend, and you got to figure out which one you want to buy a ticket to. To my right, we have Mr. Jermon Jackson, 2-time draft champ.
Hey.
How you doing? Hey, and let's keep it moving. Across the table, we have Pete Lentz still searching for that gold.
Damn it!
But I feel like you got a good chance here, sir.
I think I'm all right, but yeah.
Okay, all right, right on.
Feel good about it.
And to my left, we have, for the second time,
Mr.
Mark Sizzlechest. How you doing, sir?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong today.
You feeling strong today?
Yeah, I feel it.
All right, excellent. You're feeling more confident about this summer blockbusters than you did the Wars or the Trek draft?
So, admittedly, I think I came into the Trek draft with a higher expectation of the Trek base and Trek knowledge, and I felt really good about that list. But walking out the door and then like seeing the results is two different things. Today, I think I'm coming at it with more of a populist vote.
Okay, all right. So
You saw
came
how
to play.
one note.
Play the game.
You saw how
Play the
one
game.
note those results were.
They were.
Like,
I was super into that list, and I still stand by it. But I understand why other people would not like get
Right.
it or be into it.
Yeah, your first draft was Miles O'Brien, and I was like, this motherfucker just lost right here.
I know, but that's who I stand behind.
All right, right on. So here's the deal, gang. We got about a solid like 8-9 minutes into this before I realized that I didn't press the record button. That's my bad, which is why we're kind of rushing through this to get back. We have drafted our order. Number 1 is myself. Number 2, Jermon Jackson. 3, Mark Sizzlechest. And 4, Pete Lentz. Myself and Jermon have punched our tickets to Draftomania next January. It may or may not come out the same day as WrestleMania. That's neither here nor there. Poprika versus WWE. Who's going to get more streams? Pete Lentz and Mark Sizzlechest striving to try to punch that ticket to the big dance at the beginning of next year. We will see if they will succeed. My first pick off the board was Jurassic Park. We talked about it. We talked about it before. We talked about it on the sci-fi draft. I feel like we talked about it on the 90s draft, and it might have come up on the action adventure draft. I'm not sure. That one is a little bit murky for me. But my very first pick, Jurassic Park, we decided, Jermon, that is very low on the Samuel L. Jackson scale.
Yes.
It's low on the Samuel L. Jackson scale. Most of us love that movie in Poprika. It's still in our hearts, Mark.
I get that.
Secondly, was Mr. Jermon Jackson picking Star Wars. Go for it, sir.
Yes,
Talk about
sir.
it.
Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. It was the granddaddy of them all. It was the one that made the fandom, basically. Who knew? Like a
Not
sci-fi,
George Lucas.
sci-fi movie in the 70s would have like still endured 40 plus years later. It's crazy.
This is one of those movies that's like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And somehow the shit's still dope. And I don't know how that happened, except the fact that George Lucas sold his soul to Satan years ago. He's like, I just need
he
one
invested in
movie.
him.
But really, that's
He
for the
outfiddled the
benefit.
devil.
That's the benefit of us all. Like, what's one soul compared to the entertainment for millions and millions of people? Like,
Little known fact, I just found this out recently. There were a few studios that actually passed on Star Wars in 77.
Yeah.
Universal and famously Disney, of all people.
Hilarious.
They could have had them at a discount.
They could have not had to spend
Right.
$4 billion.
oh my god.
yeah, but then they made their money back in like
2 movies.
Yeah.
It might even be
And we
one.
would have gotten 5 more holiday specials if they had it from the get go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for
that would've
sure.
been-
We
yeah.
might have got better holidays.
All right, yeah.
Shout out to B. Arthur. And
Fair
all
point.
that. Yeah, I feel like it might have been one movie, P, because Force Awakens did 1 point something, and then merchandising after
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made their money back.
It was on
quick,
juice
fast.
boxes.
Less the cost.
Like, why juice boxes?
Mott's applesauce,
know,
Star Wars.
Less the cost of actually making the film.
Right.
That's true. Yeah. That's the cost. Well, when you go practical like JJ, that costs a little bit. Star Wars, and we've talked about it a million times. We know what it is.
I can't believe you took that from me, man.
That was
I
number.
feel really bad.
That
about
wasn't.
It was
the
number
first time,
2 on
was
my
it?
list.
It
No.
won't be the last.
You know, I don't think I like your cocksure tone.
Gotta have a little. You get a little cocky when you win a few of these.
when you get both gauntlets.
Bump.
Speaking of cocksure and ready to rumble, Mark, it is your first.
You're
pick.
not wrong, and I can't believe I got to do this on turn 3, but Independence Day.
Oh, absolutely,
Like,
absolutely.
yeah.
ID4.
I am just getting my pocket picked.
I
over
mean,
here.
that
Oh, this was gonna happen. I mean,
Yeah.
it's blockbusters. I mean,
that is to me the penultimate blockbuster. Like if Star Wars and Jaws set the standard, like it's actually July 4th weekend. I actually was shoveling popcorn into my face. Like I was weirdly like emboldened patriotically, and like I hated the aliens, and I loved Brent Spiner randomly showing up as a haggard scientist, and like Will Smith greeting people to Earth with punches. Like that's just what the dog makes it out. Like that's America. That's blockbusters. That's the whole shebang.
Bill Pullman speech, man.
Hell yeah.
He's the best fictional president.
And the greatest
Well,
extra of all
second
time.
best fictional. I mean,
President Camacho?
It's like running out of cheese, running out of nachos and shit. I would say if we're talking movies and television, man, it's gonna be Martin Sheen in West Wing.
I did not watch West Wing, but I have heard that.
I'm
said.
actually watching it for the first time, and he is a lovely.
very, very valuable lesson in Independence Day. Listen to the scientists.
Listen
to the scientists.
Yep.
Listen to the scientist.
Pete, man, what's your thoughts on ID4?
Oh my God, I love that film. I think I ended up putting that on one of my, I think it was the
Sci-fi, maybe?
action draft or sci-fi,
Yeah.
one of the two. I put that on. But man, Independence Day, blowing minds. I don't really know anybody who goes, man, Independence Day sucked.
Nobody's ever said that.
I don't think
No.
anybody has ever said that, at least to me.
No.
And I don't remember anybody. I don't know even the haterist of the haterade drinkers in Poprika won't say bad shit about Independence Day. I have never seen Damon Hurd say bad shit. I've never seen Evan Paul Berger say bad shit about Independence Day. I don't
coming
think
for all
it's
the
out there.
admins. All right.
I just don't think it's out there.
Yeah,
you know,
I know
I mean,
that.
Independence Day is just wonderful and beautifully shot, beautifully directed. It's full of genuine, awesome set pieces. Got
Yep.
great actors, Will Smith and fucking
Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
Randy Quaid. Well, back before Randy Quaid went batshit crazy.
No, he was still batshit crazy, and that's why we loved him in that movie.
That's why they
played-
cast
they
him
played
in
to
that.
it.
Yeah, he was perfect. That's what you need him for.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about before the
Yeah,
tinfoil
yeah,
hat
yeah,
and the
yeah,
beard,
yeah.
the beard that eats his
Right.
face, and all that. But I mean, and Jeff Goldblum being at his Goldblumiest.
Yeah.
you know.
Vivica A. Fox.
Oh my God.
That scene,
She
she's in
actually-
the fucking in the strip club because she's
Yeah.
not really naked. But oh my God, like I felt instantly in love with her.
She
I
actually
was-
saved the money up and made it through college.
Yeah, she's the
According
first
to the
stripper to
sequel.
ever actually go to college.
Yep. So much
the
good
tips
about
went
that.
somewhere. That's what made it worthwhile. Like,
And somebody nobody talks about. Fucking Adam Baldwin's in that bitch.
Yep. He was excellent.
He was one of
You
the
know,
he was,
Military?
He was one of the military. He's
guys.
always one of the
He's the
military
guy that
guys, but
takes.
yes.
He's the guy that takes the shot and kills the alien that's holding Brent Spiner up
Yep.
against the window.
Who was
Yep.
it that was Will Smith's buddy in the? That was
Harry
Harry Connick
Connick,
Jr.
fucking
Yeah.
Junior, man.
Yep.
Wait, he's in there? What?
Yeah.
What?
He was his
Yeah.
buddy, the
He
Will
was
Smith's
Goose.
buddy, the
He was,
pilot, the
like,
other pilot.
whatever.
They got
Goose.
smoked.
He's Goose.
He's good.
That's right.
Goose.
Hang on, I'm gonna try something.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't. He's like, yeah, it's like no.
And I'm like, and then, what's wild is the year actually what was it, a couple years before Independence Day came out, Harry Connick Jr. released one of his most fire fucking albums ever.
Yep.
He was just on a roll at that time.
Oh yeah,
He could do no
went on to
wrong.
do Hideaway
We
after
thought
that.
it was
I
the
believe.
decade of Will Smith, but was it?
It was the Harry Connick Jr. the year of the Connick.
Iconic coming
Which now
strong.
led to
baby.
his Harry Connick Jr. daytime talk show that he has. I wish that was a joke, but he actually has
No,
one.
that happened.
Yeah. All right, Pete.
Uh-oh.
Yes,
it is
sir.
On you for your first one, sir.
And I love being at the front or the back of this because I love the whole
double
That's how the
drag.
centipede works, man.
I know, right?
How the centipede works.
Got to be at the front of the back.
I love the two in a row.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been 1 or 4.
A lot.
A lot. Like
Yeah.
so I always get these back-to-back picks.
Pete rigging the game, still losing.
I don't think I like your cocksure tone either.
Like I said, that happens when you win a few.
That was when you win a few. I got
right.
5 of these under my belt.
So I feel like I've just straight had my pocket picked by the three of you just being
Yeah.
here at the end. I mean, Jurassic Park, fucking Star Wars, and Independence Day all off the table, all great blockbusters. So I'm gonna go May 4th, 2012, The Avengers.
Oh,
yeah, that's not a bad pull.
I am
at
taking
all,
The
sir.
Avengers off the table because, by God,
That was about number 10-ish for me.
Yep.
I need me some Avengers in this theater.
Yes.
And I mean, what can be said about the Avengers? Hadn't already been said a million times. I mean, arguably one of the best Marvel movies. One of the one that proved the experiment.
Yep.
It said we were going to build this up. Everyone said that's weird. This movie's going to cost a bunch of money. And they said we don't give a fuck how much it costs. We're going to do it.
We're gonna
And then
make
they
a
did
bunch of
it,
money.
and it was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Avengers just smacked me over the head in all of the best ways when I saw that film. I like just everything, literally everything about it is awesome. I can't find any fault with that movie beyond the fact that in order to truly embrace it, you have to watch everything that came before it.
Sure.
But
you don't even necessarily have
Not
to
really,
do that.
but yeah.
well,
You should.
Not
You
Iron
should,
Man
but
2.
yeah.
well, when the movie kicks off with just random villain you're supposed to know, but,
Yeah.
but and then shoots everybody, takes over this other guy, the Hawkeye that you'd not seen before, and takes the Tesseract. There's a lot, there's a lot of subtext just in that first scene that you will be absolutely lost if you don't watch those other movies, and then be like, well, the entire rest of the movie is predicated on what happens in that scene. So if you don't know what's happening right there, why is
You're
this
just playing
important?
catch up the rest
Exactly.
of the movie.
Like,
Yeah.
who is that? Why is that cube important? Why is that dude a bad guy? Like, I can see people not in the know, not knowing the answers to those questions.
Right
but
on.
but just in terms of if you know, you can watch the Avengers by itself and know all the things already and have a fucking great time. That movie's so good. So that's my first pick, The Avengers.
Avengers. Mark, man, what's your thoughts on the Avengers?
So interestingly, I'm watching all of the movies with my kids right now that's their first time, and like I hadn't watched all of them linearly since their initial release. I've seen like bits and pieces here and there from over the years, and I remember being like, I grew up a nerdy kid. I went and saw the Avengers, and I was like, I never in a million years would have thought that they were going to get all these people together and do this.
Right.
And so I was in awe. And then my kids, who are 8 and 6, are like, wait, they're all in this movie? And I'm like, yeah, babes, this is awesome, right? And they're like, yes. And so like that awe is generational. It is timeless. Like it's going to carry on. That's going to be a movie forever. Like
Agreed. How many times did you see this in theaters, Javon?
I don't actually, believe it or not, I only saw it in theaters the one time.
Just the one time?
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
I saw it 3 times in the theater.
I think it was
and
2
then
for me.
I just couldn't stop talking about it. Since I literally went to work after that weekend, and me and my coworkers, that's all we talked about.
Yeah.
Like me and one of my supervisors was like, okay, well, I'm going to name a character. You just name one of your favorite moments from the movie with them or whatever. And we were just going back and forth all day. Like,
Yeah, it is the first movie when it came out on home release that I got to the end credits and immediately rewound it back to the beginning and watched it again. It's definitely that dope. Pete,
Yeah.
it is on you again to start round
Yeah, it
2.
is.
Old double
All
picking
right.
Pete over here.
Going a little further back in time.
you're going to pick something from the 80s?
No.
Pete's gonna
I mean-
in the 50s.
I'll be honest.
The Jazz Singer came out in March or
There
May.
may be some 80s on my list. This was not one of them.
Okay.
However, it is very close. July 3rd, 1991.
91.
Terminator 2.
Son of a bitch! That was my
Day.
next pick. I knew you were gonna do it.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Oh, let me take that off the list real quick.
Son of a bitch.
Literally the
every
epitome
single
of
pick
the
is
summer
like-
blockbuster. Straight in the middle of summer on July 4th weekend. And it's fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger being a badass and fucking robots and Sarah Connor, come with me if you want to live and fuck.
Yeah, come with
Movie's
me if
awesome.
you want to live. I think that's the one line that's in every Terminator movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man,
Maybe even
Sarah
I'll,
Connor's
maybe
so
even I'll be
badass.
back.
No, I'll be back. Because Hasta La Vista is the second one.
Second
I'll be back is the first one, but I
Yeah.
don't think he says I'll be back in the second one, does he?
I thought he did. I thought
yes,
that
yes,
became a
yes.
catchphrase. Ooh, I need to rewatch it.
I believe he
Correct.
does right before he goes and gets them the masks for the
Yeah, he did it as a bit. That's right.
There we go.
But Hasta La Vista was Eddie Furlong. That was like telling him to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Right
And then he said it at the
Right.
at the end when he shot
Yeah.
the
La Vista,
T-1000.
Yep.
Eddie Furlong. Boy, the only weak spot of that whole movie.
Right.
He's probably one of the most annoying John Connors.
Yeah.
And there's no probably about that.
Yeah.
Oh, he is. Yeah.
He is the most annoying John Connor.
Yeah.
With the kid from Salute Your Shorts or whatever. with
Who
the-
was
with the
excited
red
when
mullet,
his,
like-
Who was excited when his CG counterpart got dusted in Dark Fate? I'm like, yeah.
I saw
Give the fans what they want.
I saw the incels flipping out when I saw that moment in that movie. It's like,
He's a hero.
nerd rage. It's
And now
like-
there's Robot Girl and a Hero Girl and Sarah Connor's John Connor's a girl now.
Here's the thing about T2 that gets it for me. It's been 30 years now as of this year.
Yeah.
T1000 still looks
Still,
good.
Still
it
holds
still
up.
holds
It
up.
still holds up.
Yep. Yeah.
They broke the mold on that one.
Yeah.
Man. There's I can still to this day can watch that movie and be like, this is just timeless.
Yep.
Like it's timeless in the sense that the movie's gonna still hold up and be functional years
Yeah.
from now. I don't mean timeless in that they go to the mall. Like, what the
Right.
fuck is a mall? It's
Yeah.
2021.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
goes to the mall? What is
Ah,
that?
I was there yesterday.
Guns N' Roses. Like
They seem to be driving freely around Los Angeles. Is that possible right now?
I think even in
Not in the 405.
I think even in T2 they were talking about, hey, y'all ready for that Chinese democracy album?
Well played, sir.
Oh my god!
Did you make a Chinese democracy joke yesterday, too?
I think I did. Doubled up on it.
Double A, man.
Double
It works.
down on
If it works, it works.
Chinese democracy, that whipping boy album.
Yeah, that whole second act, man, of breaking out Sarah Connor, I think is the dopeness. And that movie taught us one very important lesson in movies. Do not trust Joe Morton for any reason whatsoever. Don't let him around technology.
Specifically with science. Yes.
Yep.
You saw the Snyder cut.
I saw Joe Morton. I saw him in Eureka.
And
He was.
I will say,
Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
He's just like,
don't trust Joe
That's
Morton.
right. I will say as a final note about T2, I believe with every fiber of my being that the director's cut of T2 is far superior to the theatrical cut.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, has anyone ever interviewed Joe Morton about the fact that he's just done that for 30 years?
That was just fucking up
Just
science for 30
science.
years.
Yeah,
Science.
like just
I'll-
been
I'll see if I
science
can get on
guy.
it.
I would love to hear from him and just be like, yeah, you know what? I'll take a paycheck.
I feel like
he's a working actor.
Yeah.
like when they cast Joe Morton as Silas Stone in Snyder Cut, that's when I was like, okay, they're just
doing it, right?
What he is.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can't use my newfound critic fame.
I would
and get
love
an interview
that.
with Joe Morton.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of which, Mark, it's on you for your second pick.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Wow. Curse of the Black Pearl.
The very
Yeah.
first one,
Yeah.
Curse of the Black Pearl. Yeah.
July 9th, 2003.
Bingo. So
Got
that's
all the dates. That's awesome.
I do. I have every
Yeah.
single date. I do.
like again, it's one of those like I'm not even saying that I'm a huge fan of I am a huge fan of the movie. It's really fun. As a franchise, like it's hit or miss. But that first movie just elevated what blockbusters are. It was the budget, it was the effects, it was the when I think about blockbusters, I'm thinking about action, comedy, special effects, just all rolled into one big entertainment vehicle. And like that movie nailed it.
Yeah.
It brought back pirates. Like people weren't doing pirate things. Like what's her face from
Gina Davis?
Gina Davis.
Cutthroat
Gina Davis
Cutthroat
murdered
Island.
that
Yeah.
for a decade at that point, and then they did that movie, and it's like, we're good with this now. We can do this again.
I've said for years, and I've been saying for years that Hollywood lost the art of swashbuckling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just don't get those movies anymore.
It's that and Hook for me. That's
Oh, yeah.
it's,
Right?
It's like old Errol Flynn Robin Hood. It's
Yep.
Indiana Jones. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. Hook.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I would still put Cutthroat Island on that list. Like that is still an
they did
enjoyable
have
movie
it,
to me.
but
own it.
on the
I
same
love
token,
it.
like you don't want to say Princess Bride in that same breath, even though they have like good fencing. It doesn't mean that it's like a big like. It's not a big Donnybrook of swords.
Right.
Like it's got to be a big.
I
scrap,
don't
you know,
see. I don't
like-
see Princess Bride as a swashbuckling.
Right, but
movie.
it's just
Hook
fucking dope.
has like the ship to ship, and like
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean has the ship to ship. Like that kind of swashbuckling is fun.
it's everything we thought Master and Commander was
So
going to
fun.
be.
Yeah,
I will argue that Curse of the Black Pearl had one of the greatest character introductions of all time.
Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow.
Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow
Off
was
of
coming
that
in on
sinking
that.
boat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It told you everything you needed to know about him in just one
No,
shot.
I can't think of it. Like when Michael Keaton came down through the window,
Batman.
but
The closest thing
that's-
is Harrison Ford coming out of the shadows as Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
After he's
Yeah.
whipped the gun
Yeah.
out of the guy.
Yeah.
That's just good. Actually, the Cinnamon did top 3 favorite character reveals a couple of months ago. Go ahead and check that episode out.
Nice.
Yeah, that movie is so. I watched it about 3 weeks ago.
Oh.
Well, by the time you all listened to this, about 4 months ago.
Right.
And it's just so fucking fun, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I think that's. Say all you want about Johnny Depp. Like he
Then?
fucked up that role down the road, but
Yeah.
this movie,
Then? Yeah.
it's perfect, man. Spot on. Jamon, it is on you, sir, for
2 for
your
me.
second appearance.
Let's go ahead and knock this bad boy off of here. I'm going to go ahead and take Back to the Future.
Yep.
off the
Oh
board.
man,
Back to
Yep.
the
good
future.
pick.
Yes.
Solid pick.
Okay, all right, man. That I do believe is the power of love.
Yes. There is like, it's damn near the perfect movie. Like, to me, there isn't a wasted shred of film in that movie.
Everything that movie is nothing but setup, payoff.
Yes.
Setup, payoff.
Yeah.
It's one act of setups. It's the second act of fish out of water, and then it's one act of paying off all those setups.
Right.
It is an almost
Very tight
perfect
script.
movie.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part of Back to the Future?
the guitar scene,
Is him jamming out?
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, 'cause, like-
at the Battle of the Bands or at the end?
the Battle of the Bands.
Oh.
No, wait, no, I'm sorry. At the end, when like
He's allowed to cut loose.
Yeah, when he's allowed to cut loose. Like that was just like seeing that. Like that's the time travel stuff that I want to see is like somebody bringing like some weird cultural thing back and just being like, you guys are not ready for this yet. Like that was
Kids are gonna love
supremely,
it.
yeah, it's supremely satisfying.
All right. Joanna, what's your favorite part of it?
I love that action set piece in the 50s where he's like trying to escape Biff with the skateboard and all
Yeah.
that stuff with the manure truck and all.
Yeah.
That is just so much fun.
That's a good bully comeuppance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Pete?
I mean, I know this might be stupid, but I think about it every time I think about the movie. The opening scene where the one camera shot of all of the clocks and moving
Yeah.
through his lab, when he comes in and you don't see his face, he goes up to the amplifier and turns everything up, and you're like, this guy's gonna rock and roll. And then the camera pans back and you see the biggest fucking amplifier in the world. He strikes one guitar chord and it blows up and sends him into the fucking the shelf. That's just, and then he comes out and everything is like broken, and then it's the character reveal because that's when he takes his glasses off. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking yes.
Yeah.
I am in for this flick.
I 100% thought that was going to be one of your top 2 picks. I am shocked that you
It
got
was
that.
going to be my third pick. It was sitting right there, and
Yeah.
I'm like I
Jamon's
just got my
sniping.
fucking pocket picked again.
Yeah.
Don't worry, more picking to come, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is nothing but pocket pick.
Yeah, this is going to be a
that's
whole
true.
lot of
It's
frustration.
gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good calls all around. I'm going to go ahead and give my one of 2 while it's still out there, man. You know what, man? Pete came more prepared to me for the first time. Usually I have my dates already. I don't have any of my dates, but it is the second or third movie I ever got to go see in a screening, man. Mad Max Fury Road.
Yep. Yep.
I loved it, but to be honest with you, not even on my list.
It was 100% on my
wow.
list.
Not even on my list.
Well, we could count Pete out, guys. This is a triple threat match now.
See, it's the fucking Fury Road. That's that Poprika vote right there.
Oh, that was so like I remember watching that for the first time and just like the first 45 minutes my heart didn't stop pounding and I was like,
After
when is this going to slow down?
it's literally one long car chase that
Yeah.
does not end.
But in a better way than Death Proof is one long ass car chase that doesn't end because it just goes forever and ever.
Right.
This at least breaks for a little bit of character development from time to time, and Max like getting a new shoe for Nux and coming back with a steering wheel and all that, and somebody else's blood all over him and shit like that.
Yeah. Like I had when I finally saw the Blu-ray or whatever, and finally sat down and watched it, the first words out of my mouth was like, I really wish I had seen this in a theater.
Yeah,
I never got the chance to catch it at the theater.
I totally did. It was a tour de force on the senses.
I can imagine. I can imagine.
That black and chrome joint is it's everybody was like, oh, they're coming out with like a black and chrome version. It's gonna be so dope. Not as good, man. You need the color in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
just
for sure.
oranges and yellows and reds. All
Well,
over
because they
this.
made the sections that they were driving through vibrant, even though it was a desert. Like each one of them had its own character based just on the color filtering. Like, it was so well done.
So well done.
And I'm
80-some-odd-year-old man out there getting it.
Any movie that features a crazy dude in front of a stack of Marshall stacks with a guitar that shoots
He was
fire.
actually playing too.
Yeah.
That is ball.
Yeah.
Like that's. I want to shake his hand.
That's a new spin on war drums.
Yeah.
Like that's the Now the one thing that I do have to say, it's probably the only negative thing that I have to say about Mad Max Fury Road is that it did not need to be a Mad Max movie because Max has very little to do with what happens.
He's
in
a
that
supporting
film.
character in his own movie.
He is a supporting character in his own movie.
It's
exactly.
more-
It could have just been a cool apocalyptic movie featuring Charlize Theron.
So it was more
Like-
Furiosa's movie than Max's.
Yeah, exactly. Because go back and look, Mad Max, The Road Warrior, and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, they're fucking about him. Fury Road has nothing to do with him. No. He just happens to be in a place where all of this other shit is happening around him, and he's just caught up in it.
Yeah,
you know, like that's one thing that just was weird about it.
You're gonna pick Road Warrior soon.
No.
So this movie didn't introduce me to Nicholas Hoult, but I'm like, oh, this dude is kind of dope, though.
Yeah.
He's
What a lovely day.
He's a solid actor.
He's a man. Look, if you out there have Hulu and haven't watched
That show
The
is
Great,
stupendous.
it is stupendous for two good reasons: for Dakota Fanning,
Yes.
and for Nicholas Hoult just not giving a fuck and being gleeful about it.
He was actually pretty good in The Banker.
Yeah.
see that.
With Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, Mackie and Sam.
and
Yeah.
Sam. Yes. That is also very good. Yeah, go ahead and get your Nicholas Hoult game up. Pete, could you close the door?
I thought it was.
I'm going to go ahead and get my next one before German tries to snatch it off the list, since he loves to pick all the pockets.
I'm looking at you like Ike right now.
pick the draft, anime.
They smack you, bitch.
I'm going to go ahead and take The Dark Knight.
Yep.
Son of a
man.
bitch,
Off of
man.
that list, man.
Yep.
TDK.
I
does it for
was,
me.
that was on my list of alternates. Surprisingly,
That was on mine too.
That's
And-
mine.
and it
Y'all
was
out here
it was
crazy.
actually moving on to my primary list since you guys took
yeah. Here's my rationale behind that, though. I love that movie. Probably one of my favorite movies ever. It doesn't feel like a blockbuster, like a popcorn movie.
Yes,
like,
I agree with
That's
that.
why I was kind of put it lower down on.
All right, and that's very fair. That's very fair. I think, like this is, I've said many times, this is the comic book, the superhero adaptation of Heat, right?
Yeah.
It is a cat and mouse crime joint that just happens to have a dude in a latex suit and a guy with stupid makeup on his face.
Yes.
But yeah, it is more cerebral than it is fun.
Yeah.
But coming out of that, you're still like, that was fucking
It was
good.
dope as hell, man. I was like, wow. But it's just like, it's not one of them ones like, hey, take the whole family to see this. It's like, no. It's intense.
What's your favorite parts of the Dark Knight there, Mark?
I'm actually a hater on that.
Ooh, well, tell
Oh,
us why,
man.
please.
So, admittedly,
the floor is yours.
I do not like the Nolan Batman movies as a whole. Dark Knight is an excellent film into itself. I flat out don't like the other ones.
Okay.
Like flat out don't like them. I enjoy The Dark Knight. It's a good movie.
Okay.
Heath Ledger killed it. He was so good. I think Christian Bale is the worst Batman.
Worse than George Clooney.
I think besides George Clooney, I want to just wipe that one from my memory.
It's on HBO Max, people.
Admittedly, and part of that is George Clooney makes an excellent Bruce Wayne because he is Bruce Wayne
He's the-
in real life.
he's the playboy,
Right,
yeah.
he is the playboy. And Christian Bale whether it was scripted or directed or an actor's choice, like
It's too intense.
He played too intense. Like Bruce Wayne is supposed to basically take the cowl off and remove the burden of the cowl and be that person. And then when he assumes the cowl, that's him absorbing his own darkness. And like, I love the dichotomy of the character. And those movies did not capture that at all, especially the third one. Good Lord. Like abandoning Alfred, that would never happen.
No.
That is absolutely patently absurd. So I am not a huge fan of those movies. That said, Heath Ledger absolutely slaughtered it. So anything with Heath Ledger in it doing the Joker, because he was the only one that really brought the manic to the character thus far. Like Mark Hamill is my Joker forever.
Me
and
too.
then as a follow-up to that, Alan Tudyk is then now my Joker because he is killing it in the Harley Quinn show. He has both the nerd cred that Hamill did as well as the range that Hamill did to now take up the mantle of being the voice of the Joker, and he's doing it.
Tudyk's a badass.
He's
man.
doing such a great job with it, but I need both. I need the dichotomy in the Joker, the manic, the oppressive, and I need the oppressive and the playboy out of the Bat and Bruce, and I didn't get it out of those movies.
Well put, sir. I will not argue your arguments at all. I will. You know what? We're just going to move on. you make great points.
Yes. Lays the hammer down.
Lays the hammer down, right? No, that's why we had you back, sir. German, it is back over to
All
you,
right,
my
let's
friend.
see
Let's see
here.
what else can you steal from Pete?
Let's see what Pete has on his list right now.
Just turn your screen a little bit more.
Just a touch.
Glares and Ike Turner.
No, this movie I've picked in many drafts before.
Don't do it, man.
It's
you don't
one of
win
my-
whenever you pick it.
It's one of my favorite movies ever, and it fits the criteria. Ghostbusters.
Yep. I was halfway right there before he even said it. Leslie was like, because me and Leslie were talking about my list and looking over it last night, and she was just kind of Googling like Blockbusters. She's like, you got Ghostbusters on your list? And I was like, no, because whoever drafts it loses.
Yep.
And there's a stigma attached to Ghostbusters. I will never pick Ghostbusters in a draft ever. Go
Wait
ahead
a
and talk
minute.
about
I
it,
did
sir.
win with it once.
What, for what?
80s.
For 80s?
80s.
That is a quintessential 80s movie.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
quintessential 80s movie. Although I do want to hear the argument for the blockbuster aspect of it.
Oh, we're definitely.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
it
saying
came
it
out-
isn't. I'm just saying, like, I don't know.
It came out during the summer.
It
during
does.
those
No,
months.
it qualifies.
It's a
what
fun
makes
ride, man.
you feel it.
It was actually, I think, was the highest grossing movie
Yeah.
of that summer.
I'm not saying it doesn't qualify.
Yeah. Oh, you mean what makes
He
it?
wants
What
to
makes
hear
it? What
that-
makes it matter to you as a blockbuster?
It was just everything. It was sci-fi. It was comedy. It was had elements of horror. You had just probably some of the greatest chemistry between the leads like Aykroyd and Murray and all of those guys. It was that movie that just captured it just captured everything. It created a franchise that in various forms is still going to this day.
That's true.
Okay. All right. Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's a fun movie. It Ghostbusters 2, and the less
And
said about it, the better.
it doesn't help. It helps to have a pretty catchy theme song too.
Yeah, that's true.
Ray Parker Jr. is
wow.
probably still getting checks.
That
off
thing
of
was on the radio.
Oh no,
forever.
no! Remember, Ray Parker doesn't get any checks from that. He
does?
Lewis gets all the checks for that.
Oh wow,
Yep.
really?
Oh yeah,
It's something you came out whistling at.
because he fucking ripped off "I Want a New Drug." The court settlement. The court settlement was that Huey Lewis would get the royalties from the thing.
Man.
Ray
damn.
Parker doesn't even get publishing. Like, he doesn't nothing.
Hate to see
Nothing.
it.
You hate to see it. You're just sitting there.
Don't
watching-
fucking plagiarize.
He messed
is
up
the
his
lesson.
bag. He messed up his bag.
Fumbled at the one.
But still, like dope song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dope song.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who was your favorite Ghostbuster, Mark?
Bill Murray.
Pete?
Harold Ramis.
Egon.
Egon's my
Egon?
dude.
Yeah, I think it's Egon.
this
He's so dry. That
He's like,
whole
yeah, that.
movie.
I
he's
collect
just so
spores, molds, and fungus.
He's just so blissfully unaware of just normal shit.
Isn't
like,
Janine trying to get off?
yeah,
in this?
it's
Yeah.
obvious she's trying to hook up with him, and he's just like,
He's not having it.
No.
Not having it at all. Right on.
So then she turns to the only other person in the movie wears glasses, Lewis Tully.
Yes.
Hey, shout out to Rick Moranis, man. So I saw somebody on Twitter today is like, the Knives Out 2 casting is okay, but when you bring in Rick Moranis, that's when I get it.
That's what it is.
That'd be dope.
exactly right.
That'd be
It is.
dope.
Can you imagine?
Sigourney Weaver, good lord.
That
Dude,
1980s
the
Sigourney
dress,
was.
Yeah.
the dress, and the hanging over the bed and the flipping around. Jesus Christ. Christ, man.
Bill Murray's like, I'm going to risk it all for this shit.
I'll tell you what.
Nope, Bill, that's all you.
It's not mentioned much, but Ernie Hudson's performance was Winston because he
He
was
was
just a
awesome.
dude. He was just a dude that wanted
needed a job.
Yes.
There's a steady
He's
paycheck.
like, I will
in it.
believe whatever.
anything
Yes.
you say.
It's like when
That's a
someone
big
asks you
Twinkie.
if you're a god, you say yes.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
some of the
he's-
greatest lines in that.
Yeah.
I think he's like the audience's way into
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Which is weird because you don't get him until halfway throughout
No,
the movie.
yeah.
Like
I have
there's
seen shit that'll turn you white.
God, so many. For some reason, that line just didn't do it for me. And then one day I was like, oh, that's fucking genius.
And my man William Atherton, man,
Oh,
just prime
ridiculous.
dickhead.
Yeah, between this and another movie that will show up.
Yeah,
he is-
even though he was kind of in the right.
Yeah, he was. He's like the Principal Rooney. Like
Yeah.
he's right.
But the way he's
Yeah.
going about it.
If he hadn't been such a cock about it, they may have come to an agreement.
Right,
There
right.
might have been some fair regulations
Yeah.
on the particle accelerators.
Yep. Mark, it's on you, sir.
Face Off.
Not even
Nice.
on my list. You
Wow.
have two movies that weren't
That
even on my
completely
list.
was off my radar.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's not bad at all.
again, it's one of those where like there was goofy lines. There was like two hammy guys just playing off of each other throughout. The action sequences were absurd. The concept was insane. Like the boat chase. Like, why was there a boat chase in that movie? They threw doves like it was a Prince music video. Like it was
That's
just
John Woo, baby.
so much.
John Woo.
So much of that movie is just like the over the top blockbuster vibe, and I love it for that. So
Of all
yeah.
the movies that have been drafted so far, I think that's the one you can turn your brain off the most.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
Just
ride
have
it
a
out.
good time.
Have a good
Just
time.
have a good time.
Yeah, man. There's people on film Twitter, trademark, that just don't like summer blockbusters, like tours and acting and plot. I'm like, man, sometimes you just gotta have fun.
You know
man.
what's funny about that? Every time I sit down and watch something from the Criterion Collection,
I love it. Oh, you have the streaming service? now,
yeah.
or-
And I did turn it off though. I did it during COVID. I just for a little bit. I do it like seasonally. I turn it on when I feel like. But that's the whole point of my statement is that like when I watch something brainy or heady, like I have to get into a mood for it or I have to be in a mood for it and then I have to do it. The thing I never have to be in the mood for is to turn on Face Off and just be like, what's happening? Cool.
Let's ride it.
Let's
It's
have
one
a
of those
good
like you
time.
flipping through TV and it's on. You're like, well, they
Well,
should
I'm
put
watching
this remote
Face Off
down.
now. That's
Yeah.
great. I'm watching Face Off. That's great.
Right on.
Take his face off. Also,
I-
Gina Gershon
yes.
was
The
top
dopeness.
tier
Oh, yes.
in that movie. Like, good lord.
just-
When her brother kissed her on the face, I was like, that's gross, but also I would.
There's a genre for that.
All right then. Good call, sir. Damn good
Yes,
call.
nice.
Thank you.
And I think two hammy actors hamming it up is the best way to
Yeah.
summarize that movie.
I respect Travolta, man. That's all day. All
That
day.
is that the last good Travolta movie? What did he do after that?
It was 97.
Broken
so
Arrow,
it's
I think, was
arguable-
after that.
Broken Arrow was 99. So, but even then, like, it was. I love Face Off. Broken Arrow is great, but it's not like. It's not Face Off.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I think that was kind of it.
That might have been the last one, yeah.
Man, Pulp Fiction brought him back for half a second.
Yes.
And he went
A cup of
right
coffee.
back for a cup of coffee, as Doug Davison likes to say. All right, Pete, it is on you for your first of two.
All right.
Here we go.
Sons of bitches.
Here we go.
Let's go ahead and get this off the board right now. June 23rd, 1989. Batman.
Son of a
Yep,
bitch.
Batman.
Yes, I knew it.
Well,
man.
Oh man, I gave you the lead in and everything as like the second best character drop in. Like,
It's
Jack
almost as
Sparrow
though
is
this
still
was
number one.
foreshadowing.
Yeah, right.
But Batman, like, brought the superhero heat. Man, proved that you could make an excellent on-screen comic book movie.
I mean, no, Superman proved that, sir.
Superman 1 proved that, and then everyone
Superman 2
forgot about
proved
it.
Put some respect on Two's name.
Two is the one that gets all the respect.
I'm not going to put any respect on the theatrical release of Superman 2.
Yeah, y'all bugging out here.
Hey,
man.
hey.
It was
'Cause-
far better than one.
No,
So definitive.
you are objectively
I guess I'm
incorrect.
wrong. I'm sorry,
You are
Pete.
objectively incorrect. Superman 2 is essentially two different films smashed together.
And it's still a good movie?
No, no.
Okay, fine. Back to Batman.
Totally, it's all over the place. I could give a whole TED talk on why Superman 2 sucks. The Donner cut of Superman 2 is dope as shit.
All right, fair.
Well, all directors' cuts are better than the original.
Well, but the thing about it,
Give or take.
the reason Superman 2 suffers is because Donner was removed from the project, and then they reshot a bunch of stuff to make it campy, and just, no.
It still kind of holds up
Superman
considering.
is fucking
Like,
campy.
Yep.
Well, but the
Especially
Superman
that
itself
era
is
of
campy.
Superman.
Is that yeah, well, I mean, that's what we
even
had to
the
work
original
with.
had still had some of that camp in there.
Oh, well,
Was that the one where the pimp sees him in the costume in the beginning?
Yes.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
He's
yes,
like,
yes.
And he goes,
those are fans,
"Excuse
those are friends or whatever.
Anyways, back to Batman.
Anyway, back to Batman. Batman. Okay, so if Superman was the progenitor, certainly Batman was the perfecter.
Okay, cool.
Batman, like Tim Burton. I don't think there was another person really at the time that could have done Batman correctly with that dark gothic feel. I think that's that's now. I am a limited comic book reader. I've read some Marvel stuff and I've read some DC stuff, but comics weren't really my thing. Movies were always my go-to. But even in all the Batman that I had been exposed to up to that point, like there was a darkness to Batman, and I think that film specifically really captured the dark realism.
Yeah.
While still embracing embracing Jack Nicholson being silly, ransacking through the art museum and playing Prince while he does it. Like, it just scenes like that. And then the gas and like the different gadgets that Batman had, like
where does he get all those wonderful toys?
Exactly, and that line too,
Yeah.
and the way the Batmobile looked to this day is my favorite fucking Batmobile.
Yes,
That
agreed.
Batmobile
Yes,
is the
agreed.
shit.
Yeah, it
dude.
is. It is.
Long
It is
as
the
fuck,
shit.
man.
Yeah.
It's
The most phallic of them.
Certainly. What
I'm gonna fuck justice into this city.
when it turns into the steel dildo when he says shields.
It should not have worked. You would think
as a kid, I was like, how does he turn a quarter?
How does he
with
turn a
it?
quarter?
No one
Yeah.
knows.
Because he has jets on the sides of it, so he can whip the thing.
I was like,
okay, all right.
and a grappling hook.
And a grappling hook.
You know?
Yeah.
I was like,
and then pop-up machine guns.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
fucking, the Batmobile is so fucking
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That Batmobile can get it. I stand that Batmobile.
Yeah, I understand it. I understand it.
But but just cinematically speaking as well, there's so many good set pieces. You could, like I said, we were mentioning frames of movies earlier. Batman, Tim Burton's Batman is another one of those, like, you could stop it at any point and it would make good wallpaper, good like computer wallpaper or something,
Right on.
Just so many cool. And you think when Batman holds up the thing that eventually becomes the zip line that gets him and her, and he holds it up and then it splits and it's like, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a zip line. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it looks like this device he's gonna fucking fuck him up with, and it's like, nope, this is so I can peace out. Like,
Yep.
And then that's when you found out Kim Basinger was lying about her weight.
You weigh a little more than 108. But yeah, so that's my first pick is Batman
89.
just two words: party man.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, rock a party
that shit
like
was the
nobody
joint.
can.
That shit was the joint. Shout out to Jack Palance. too.
Yes.
So
Pete, your next one.
my next pick, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but I think this works. It's appropriate. May 1st, 2000. Gladiator.
Nice.
Nice.
That's
nice.
towards the
That
bottom
was-
of my list.
You got an
that was
Oscar
in-
pick in there.
that was
Okay.
definitely- that was
you're
definitely
you're
in that
now
mix.
elevating the highbrowness of this.
I mean, I'm trying
Oh,
to.
fun, goddammit.
But see,
Are you not entertained?
but see, the thing about Gladiator is that yes, it's an Oscar winner, and yes, I may have elevated it to the snooty auteur status, but
No, that's the most blockbuster Oscar movie ever.
yeah,
no, I
for
get it.
sure. But then you go back and look, and it's like, holy fuck, all of that bloodletting.
Yeah.
And Joaquin Phoenix just chewing fucking scenery.
Yes.
Russell Crowe at his Russell Crowe-iest.
He was.
Best looking. By far his
best-
best.
oh, yeah,
looking.
for sure.
Does he
for
look?
sure.
Does he look at posters next to a mirror or like?
Did he watch the dailies of Unhinged and
Yeah,
just go, what am I even doing with my life?
Jeez.
I wonder if him now looks at like that Russell Crowe and he's like, fuck, I was good looking.
Yeah. Like I
need
feel
to
the
get
same
back
way
there.
about Brendan Fraser. Like if I was Brendan Fraser and I had like George of the Jungle poster like up in my room, like I would not sleep in that room. Like,
Yeah, that can be said for a lot of people.
Yeah, but he's robot now.
he's
Like,
robot. He's doing a good job.
He's doing all right for himself.
He's doing a good job.
Oh,
He's
God,
doing a good
dude.
job.
No, he
Control.
looks at pictures of. Actually, no, it's George.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the
we
mummy.
say
but
it's
George
mummy.
is a-
We
yeah.
say it's mummy. It's not. It's George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle.
It's him running with the horse, and it's him swinging on a vine. That's what he's. That's what he's looking at.
Watch out for that tree.
But Gladiators, though, John
Gladiator.
Hunsu,
Yeah.
Yeah.
in there as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Probably
that's right.
one of the best villains I've seen in a movie in a while. Like,
Yeah.
dude, Joaquin Phoenix's performance is Commodus. I was like, it's like, you raggedy bitch. I was just saying every time.
He's
so
creepy.
Yeah.
He's menacing.
Did I see a thing that he
He's
didn't
like,
sleep?
he's
dynamic?
He
He's
didn't sleep
somewhat
while he was
cowardly
shooting it or
too.
something.
I would be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That sounds like something he would do.
He looked haggard. Like he looked haggard
That's the
towards the
pressures
end.
of leadership.
Yeah.
man.
When
you
he
get to-
when he stuck Maximus before that last battle, I was just like, that's a bitch move. man.
Yeah.
Certifiable bitch move.
and Maximus still fucked that bitch
Yeah.
up. Yeah, so am I not merciful? No, you're not.
I'm just gonna cut that out and make that my phone ring.
Every time Pete
somebody
calls, it's just like,
anybody, everybody calls. It's just Pete yelling. "Emma!"
So that's my back-to-back Batman and Gladiator.
nice,
All
nice,
right.
nice pulls.
Mark Sizzles, it is on you.
If
sir.
somebody's got this on their list, they're going to be mad that I picked it. If they don't, they're going to be mad that they didn't think about it. Fifth Element.
Totally on my list.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Nope, I didn't put it on there.
I contemplated it.
Yeah.
Yep,
Fifth Element.
I'm not the hugest fan of that movie.
Hey, you're gonna be good. Poprikans like that shit.
All right. I love Fifth Element. Like, I mean, I'm wearing a Powerline tank top, but like Chris Tucker was phenomenal as a radio personality in
And
that
that's
movie.
why I hate that movie. It's
Okay,
Chris
that's fair.
Tucker.
I loved that character because I thought it was the largesse of media. Like, it was just a...
That is the nail on the head.
Yeah,
right
like,
there.
it's
the
him-
largesse of media.
Yeah, he's just like, he is the cartoon that media will become. And like, we saw... It's such
is
a,
already becoming.
yeah,
the
like I was
advent
gonna
of
say,
the
like
YouTuber.
that movie was so contained in what the universe was and is, and like looks like it will be. And the way that we talk about idiocracy is what I really think we should be talking about with Fifth Element, like just that building it tall rather than building it wide, the pollution, the marketing, the media, all of it. But then like they did such a great job with the action, the comedy, the set pieces, the opera singer, like just so much of that movie was so like, I love Star Wars. I have Star Wars tattoos on my legs. Star Wars is my life. There is not one individual Star Wars movie that I like more than Fifth Element.
Wow.
There's not one individual. Like now I'm saying I've spent more time in the Star Wars universe, like between SWOTOR, the books, I've read all the extended universe, all the movies, all the shows, everything, but there's not one single movie that entertains me more than The Fifth Element does as a science fiction movie.
Are you saying that in a universe where The Empire Strikes Back exists?
right?
Yeah.
That's a
Yes.
spicy hot take.
Yes. I'm saying,
Easily.
but I'm saying like Empire affects me differently. Like Empire was like a profound realization that darkness is going to exist in my nerdy hobbies. Fifth Element, darkness exists in that movie, but so does fun. Like all of it is encompassed. Like as a blockbuster movie, I would see Fifth Element more as a blockbuster than any Star Wars movie, and that's why I put it on my list.
Okay.
Fair enough, sir.
Nice,
Fair
nice.
enough. He laid it down. Jermon Jackson, it is on you.
Here we go.
Just don't take what I'm about to take.
I'm about to play the game a little bit here. Yes, I know this is a Poprika favorite here. One of the highest grossing movies, I believe, of 2014. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Yep. Take that off my list.
A Poprika favorite.
Paprika favorite. Yeah,
On
just go
my
and take
list.
that
Yep.
off.
Oh my God, man! Like we've talked about this movie ad nauseum, man.
Ad
It
nauseum.
is just
Since Mark, since you're new to this, man, what or someone new, what is your favorite Guardians? Who's your favorite Guardian?
I mean, I live Star-Lord's life.
Well, okay, then there you go.
But like, I want to back that up by saying like it was on my list because it's the most blockbuster of the Star Wars. I'm sorry, the Marvel movies. Like it's the most Like, it's got the soundtrack, it's got the fun, it's got the goof, it's got the action, it's got everything. Like, I think that Guardians is the most blockbustery of the Marvel movies.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying that they're not blockbusters. I'm just saying, like, when I think of blockbuster, I like to combine as many genres as possible for, like, the lowest common denominator, but also, like, in that way, the highest common denominator. How are we combining all these elements to make something unique and fun for everybody? And Guardians did that better than any other Marvel movie.
It is definitely one of the ones that can stand. It's a standalone movie. Like you don't have to know what's going on in the rest of the Marvel universe to enjoy it.
Yeah,
like it's an introductory movie to like this just great cast of characters.
yeah.
Right on. Pete, who is your favorite Guardian?
Rocket.
Yeah.
I'm floored by the fact that he's an awesome character in his own right. I love that, he's troubled and he lashes out to compensate for the fact that he's insecure. But at the same time, I love the fact that Marvel got us to care about a talking raccoon.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
Something that literal minutes, even up to the minutes before the movie came out, people were still going,
Why?
There's a talking tree and a talking raccoon in this
Yeah.
movie. Why the fuck are we making this film?
Yep.
And then you watch it and go, oh, that's why.
That's why.
Yep.
Because it's rad.
Yeah.
Because we got Bradley Cooper to ham it the fuck up in the
Rad
in
is
the
a
voice
good
booth.
word. They had a lot of
That's-
that rad vibe.
Oh,
in
it was
there.
rad.
The
Yeah, for
colors,
sure.
the sounds, like everything was rad.
Who's your favorite Guardian?
Oh God, that's the funny thing about that. Like I like them all for different reasons, but I tend to lean more towards I think Drax.
I knew you were going to say Drax. I could have put money on the table and you were going to say Drax.
his comedic timing is just something else. Like some of the stuff that comes out of his mouth, it's like sometimes I just bust out laughing every time.
Yeah. All right. No, turn that back on you, sir. What's yours?
Nebula is my favorite
Yeah.
Guardian.
Yeah.
Yes. I think
It's a wild card answer, but
Counts.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's a wild card.
She's
but we get
a
it.
member.
Yeah,
She's a
yeah.
She's had
Yeah.
the greatest arc of any of them. From
was-
where she started when we first see her to the end of Endgame. Because no other Guardian.
She was just loyal. Like, she was fanatically loyal.
Yeah, she just wanted to
was trying to please her
dad.
father.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah.
her real dad.
Yeah.
and he just wasn't seeing that. And
Yeah.
man.
Also,
I feel like there was a lot of conditioning that needed broken.
I think
on
she's
that.
like a quietly
For her,
OP character, too. Like, power-wise.
Nebula's that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about all the times
her
that she gets
design,
straight
too.
fucked up in the movie and just
She gets
twists
the
her arm
most
back.
mangled out of anybody, and she's like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right back at it.
When she falls, when falls off that cliff thing, and
Yeah.
her arm catches, and she just
She
breaks her
catches
arm
herself.
and falls. It's like fuck it.
All right,
Nanites.
it is on me, man. Let me get some more fun up in my list since everybody talks shit about Dark Knight.
It wasn't everybody. It was just him.
For the record, I did not.
I'm going to go ahead and
apologize.
take Aliens off.
Yeah, damn it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Damn it.
I hope all the bad shit in the world happens to you and no one else but you.
Listen, man.
Oh, I hate you.
Talk about a drastic, almost complete genre change between movies.
Yeah.
And beefing up like they did with Ripley, what they did with Sarah Connor, man. They took her from one thing and then made her just a complete fucking badass.
Yeah.
And like Power Loader Ripley is just
She got nominated for an Oscar.
Yes.
Yep.
The Power Loader got nominated for supporting actor.
But I'm pumped.
Like just the idea of like aliens versus like gung ho space marines just appeals to every like 10-year-old.
We
boy.
have Space Marines because of that movie. Like,
Yeah.
like Warhammer 40,000, Doom. Like, we have so many Space Marines.
Starship Troopers.
We had because of Starship Troopers, the book gave us Space Marines, but aliens gave it to us on the screen.
And they look like
And
that.
that shit
That
looks
is-
rad.
And now they look like that.
Yeah.
Aliens has the most blockbuster formula of them all. It's like, okay, the first movie had one alien. Give us a shitload of aliens.
You're right.
And guns. More
Yes.
guns. So many guns.
Right. It took someone who was just listen. Any of us were Ripley, we'd be like, well, good luck to that colony. No, and she confronted and faced her fears and was like, all right, then if I don't go, innocents will die and get fucked up.
Yep.
And overeat up and went out there and got the shit done, man.
She said overeat up.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
She went out there and got shit done, and that's why I love Ripley.
Well done,
Oh,
She's a,
man.
she's a get done chick.
Well done.
Let me see.
Game over.
if I
Game
Game over. Huh?
I took like of the sci-fi draft. There's like an entire section about how much I love aliens. So I'm just hating life right now. Hating it.
I can't draft that because then they're gonna know it's me. Instead, I'm going to pivot real quick. And
No, it's me. Matrix can't be on your list. It's not a.
that's
March.
It's not. Yeah, it's March. It's March. Yeah.
March 99. Let me just go ahead and scratch off that because I'm not going to get that anymore. Boy, I tell ya.
Getting rough in it.
I'm going to go ahead. No, there's. Let me center my chi. I'm going to go ahead and take.
Align your chakras.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and take Die Hard, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I've drafted it in the action draft because I was a number 1 slot.
It does it.
Listen, me and Jermon figured out Die Hard 6 yesterday.
Oh,
all right?
yes.
24 hours ago.
Yes.
Man. So I'm going to take this time to pitch Die Hard.
Let's
6.
do that. Because we know why Die Hard's on the list. We
know
get
why
it.
it's on the list. Listen, let me see if I remember all this.
Are you retconning Die Hard 5?
Nope.
Because
No
Wow.
retcons.
All right.
No
No
retcons.
retcons. Basically, if I remember correctly, the villain of Die Hard 6. See, there's somebody in Die Hard who you kind of forget about at times. And I feel like whose life due to the events of Die Hard might have gone to shit and fallen apart. Maybe he got fired for his involvement in all of this.
Carl Weathers.
No.
Not Carl Weathers. What was his name?
Argyle. Argyle is the villain of Die
the
Hard.
limo driver.
A limo driver. Yes, his life has gone to
Carl
shit.
Winslow. Carl Winslow's what I was trying to
Winslow.
think.
I think we decided that Uber has destroyed his business.
Uber has destroyed,
Uber.
has destroyed his limo driving business. He's in shambles. He's tattered, and he kind of blames John McClane.
Did his
for some of the
SoundCloud
shit
not
that's
take
happened.
off? Because I would have figured that it was.
And I added a little something in afterwards. So we're going to have John McClane in town visiting his buddy Al Powell.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, and it lets you know that, all right, over all these years, they've kept in contact
Yes.
or whatever.
I'm recasting Reginald Vell Johnson.
We
right?
have
I
to.
mean, he's still fucking alive. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Okay.
And I mean, he just did Invincible. So
Invincible.
He's
Oh,
still
that's true.
doing it.
He's
He's
the
still
principal.
doing it.
It's
Yeah.
Reginald Vell Johnson High School.
Yeah.
So Argyle's going to kidnap Al Powell and kill him. And he's going to be like, hey. Exactly. So
hurts.
he's like, if you want to actually not kill him immediately, but if you want to get your friend Al Powell back, meet me at Nakatomi Plaza.
Oh my God.
And it's going to be him having to go through the Argyle goons and all that kind of shit again. And it's going to be called Old Habits Die Hard.
Amazing. Yes.
Yes. It does itself,
Take-
man.
take
Is there
Take
going to
my
be a
money.
limo bomb? Like, I feel like that would be like
Take
poetic
my money
justice.
now.
Yeah, I
Sold.
want it.
Yes.
I want
Yeah,
it.
the
Yeah,
limo
limo
bomb's
bomb.
in there.
Limo
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah. It's going to happen, man. Old Habits Die Hard. Anyways.
Yeah.
You all know why Die Hard.
No,
is
yeah,
Die
we get
Hard.
it.
It's
We get it.
fucking Die Hard.
That
Jermon.
dopeness on me, huh? Man, you know what? Let's see here. We're getting to that point, aren't we?
Yep, we are now 1, 2, 3. No, we're ending out the first half. Of
Okay,
this list.
let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and scoop up the Lion King.
Yep.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Yep.
Okay.
That was on my list for sure.
Specifically did not put
That was
on
one
my
of my.
list
That was
'cause
one of
I
my
knew
kid
Jermon
picks. That was one of my
would.
kid picks.
All right,
That
fair enough.
is-
Fair
yes,
enough.
one of my favorite Disney movies ever.
Yeah.
Like it was at
As
the
it should
height of
be.
the
Yeah.
height of their Renaissance, man.
Yep.
That was
It barely made it past. I think it was like Aladdin that went up against in the Poprika brackets, man.
oh really wow.
People were hating online. A lot of people reduce it to it's just Hamlet with lions. Like Hamlet's not a
Like,
dope
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
story
yeah,
in the
right.
first place.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like,
it's absolutely ridiculous. Who's your favorite character?
oh man,
What character speaks to you?
speaks to me. I kind of like Mufasa, man. He had that
Regalness.
Yeah, yeah. He commanded that respect.
Right. Yeah. I
And
don't even
then-
know if he commanded it. People just fucking gave it. Man.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
And on a level like, because I mean, he stands out, but Scar, man,
Scar was excellent.
he was a bastard, a straight.
Irons.
Because Jeremy Irons is the
Yes.
tits.
Yeah.
The man killed his brother and put a head out on his nephew.
Yep. Yep.
How? I mean,
That's griminess.
that's cold blooded.
Cold. I think it is one of the best visual representations of motherland Africa that exists.
It's
on
beautiful.
film.
Oh, yeah,
In
absolutely.
animated form, it is fucking like the
Yes.
sunrise and
Yeah.
all that good shit, man.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
many like majestic animals and like the
Hand in
man.
hand with the music.
Yeah,
there was-
fucking
right?
There was
on.
so many
Yep.
iconic songs on that
Yep.
soundtrack.
That's my boy Elton John right there.
Yes. Circle of Life,
Bringing it home.
Kuna Matata, Can't
Yep.
Wait to Be King. Like
Yeah, that shit was just, man, that's
was
perfect
hits.
voice casting. Nathan Lane up in there doing
Yes.
his business, right? Oh, so much goodness. Good call, sir.
Yeah, well done.
Sizzle Mark.
Okay. I'm going to do my only superhero pick. Wonder Woman.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Man.
Yep, that was
Wonder
in my
Woman.
That
top
was
10.
going to be the next
Yeah.
thing that came out of my mouth,
Yeah,
bro.
Wonder Woman.
Was Wonder Woman.
I figured that was going to be pretty
great.
high. I'm trying not to do too many of the superhero ones because, like, I don't think that they all encompass what I see as a blockbuster.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough.
That's I understand.
I
that.
made a solid argument about Guardians because I agree with that pick. Wonder Woman was my, and I would probably say Thor Ragnarok, but like that's not a standalone the same way that Guardians is.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is like it's an introductory tale.
Yeah.
I think it covers so much of the bases of action, comedy, set pieces, performances. It was just a standout film. She was so good. Chris Pine was fun. Like it was just an excellent movie all around. I don't normally get into WW2 stuff. They did enough of it to make it.
That's even better because that was the World War One.
World War One. Sorry, World War One. You're right. Sorry. I don't normally get into either of the WWs, apparently, but the only WW that I do get into is Wonder Woman. And so that was really well done. I just thought it was really fun.
Hey, that was totally like, did you do that on purpose?
No, but I'm just that slick.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice.
Well played. Well played.
I was mentally giving you some props. Oh, shit,
like,
he did
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
He did that. Listen, man.
I can
Sound like a
bounce back.
jingle almost.
that fucking second act, man, is
man.
everything.
Dude,
in
No
that
Man's Land,
movie.
man.
Yeah, that was
When
so
she
intense.
steps out of that
Out of the
trench to when
trench.
it starts snowing and they're dancing in the snow,
Yep.
that
Not gonna-
15 minutes. Man.
Not gonna front. I still tear up at No Man's Land.
It's
man.
beautiful.
It is just so inspirational.
So
and-
good.
Yes.
Man. That might be that sequence of events might be the best. Second best sequence of events in a comic book movie outside of Cap getting the hammer.
I think
That
the
was
main
so-
the main thing I like about that scene, and it's kind of something they really don't state, is that they don't, because at that point they don't give you Wonder Woman until that moment.
you never see her in the full.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
a little flash
Yeah.
here, a little
Yeah.
glimpse there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she shrugs off the Zemo fur coat or whatever.
Yeah.
it is.
The
She's like-
Zemo code.
And then it's
Zemo
all
code.
glory.
Yes.
Yep.
Well played. Good call.
Thank you, sir.
Damn
Thank
good
you.
call.
Yep.
Pete, first of two.
Well,
Pete's
again,
list is looking solid so far.
Pocket picked.
Great minds.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, I didn't want to overload on, because I agree with you. I don't want to overload on superhero movies.
You got
Yeah.
two. I'm 2 of your 4.
That being said,
Yeah.
there are a ton of superhero movies
So
that
many.
absolutely fit the criteria.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
absolutely think one of them is
Don't take
May
my
3rd,
next one.
2002, Tobey Maguire's
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Damn it. Damn it. Yeah.
Spider-Man 1. Okay.
Spider-Man 1.
OG Spider-Man.
Wasn't even
Now,
on my list.
I would have said Spider-Man 2 because in terms of the films, I prefer Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Spider-Man
do.
1 was the bigger movie.
Yeah.
Of the two.
I think it captured
I
that.
disagree.
No, in terms
Like
of
money?
like yeah,
Well,
in terms of box office and smashing and cultural identification.
I think the impact was bigger with that first Spider-Man because people were waiting for that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
yeah,
That makes sense.
with to me the best examples of big blockbusters are ones that don't come with the baggage of expectation, right? And what I mean is, I don't mean like you saw the trailer, so it better be good, or
Right.
I'm expecting this to be good because I saw the trailer. In the case of something like Spider-Man 2, they are expecting it to be good because they're coming off the first one. And there's an expectation of quality. We just saw it fucking break down with Wonder Woman and the expectation of Wonder Woman 1984. The fucking shit show that movie
we
is.
know.
So that is an example of what I'm talking about, the management of expectations.
Yeah.
But Wonder Woman 1984 doesn't actually count. It doesn't count as a summer blockbuster.
The bar
because
was
it
so
came out-
hot.
That shouldn't.
It came out in
wouldn't
January,
count as a
so-
summer
Yeah.
blockbuster.
It
if
shouldn't
came
count
out
as
in
anything.
January.
Right. The only summer blockbuster that came out in January. But that's what I mean by the management of expectations is like that. You saw a trailer and you want to go see it versus I saw that first movie. This one better be dope.
Okay.
And so that's why even though I prefer Spider-Man 2, I think Spider-Man 2 is the best Maguire film by far. It's arguably one of the.
It is the third best Spider-Man movie there is.
I think it's the second best.
Oh!
I'd say.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
No,
I mean,
both
I
of
can-
the Marvel movies.
Homecoming is my favorite. I don't.
Both of the Marvel
I don't
movies.
really care as much for No Way Home. I thought I
enjoyed
was gonna,
that.
or not No Way Home. Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Yeah, No Way Home's that next one. But I thought I was gonna enjoy Far From Home a lot more, and I feel like they kind of mandarined.
No, sci-fi Mysterio is the right way to do Mysterio.
Correct.
I mean,
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want
but I
magic
know.
Mysterio. I want sci-fi Mysterio. That was better.
The fact that they held off
know.
Mysterio until the technology was right to do Mysterio.
That was perfect.
Perfect. But anyway, Spider-Verse is the
Regardless,
best.
regardless, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, that's my shit.
And what is your next pick so I can go get my beer?
Right. Okay, so my next pick,
You're starting off the back half of the list.
my next pick, this is I'm gonna have to go out on a limb here. July 6, 1994, Forrest Gump.
Interesting.
Wow, that's
It does count. It does
okay.
qualify. It was on like a time list of the best blockbusters.
Yeah.
Y'all talk about all Forrest there.
And so I feel like it counts because, well, I mean, beyond the fact that it's time,
Time and money, yeah, it
time,
hits. Yeah.
time and got the money, but like a lot of the blockbusters on our list have been primarily action films.
Yes.
Right.
And while there is a little bit of action that happens in this movie, I think it's more blockbustery because of again a lot of the effects walls that it broke down, a lot of the references that it made, a lot of cultural touchstones that the movie not only touched on when it came out, but also created as a result of its release. And I just
Are you saying it's not because of the soundtrack?
I actually hadn't gotten to that yet.
I knew you were going to say it.
As a music guy,
I know.
I do have to point out that the soundtrack was a double disc collection
Yeah.
of some of
Of
literally
greatest
the
hits.
greatest songs
Yeah.
that have ever been recorded ever.
Yep.
I mean, fucking.
Listen,
it's just so much.
if you look at summer blockbusters, check the soundtrack because most of the time it's top tier.
It's
like
Forrest Gump is one of those movies like it appeals to everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you can take the whole family to see that and they're going to enjoy it, chances are.
It
wait
is
a
the-
few more years for the date rape stuff, but like I'll show my kids. That's fine. Couple
Yeah.
more years, like 10. It'll be
I
fine.
I showed that to my kids, and they were like, they both. At the end, my son had a little tear in his eye, and then looked over at me, and he understood. Like, yeah, that's a
That's a
dad,
movie.
That's a dad
like,
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a thing. Like not only that, because like I've talked about this on on multiple drafts. I'm trying to instill in my kids the importance of good cinema,
Yeah.
and how to appreciate good cinema.
Yep.
Not just watch a movie and go, ugh, explosions, pew pew.
Yep.
It's like no. This is good cinema is good cinema for a reason, and I think that Forrest Gump actually absolutely deserves a place on this on
Well done.
any
Nice. Yeah.
blockbuster.
I dig it.
Well done.
Nice.
Well done. All right. Sizzle Mark, it is on you, sir.
Bridesmaids.
This man has no introductions into his shit.
Just straight
He
to the-
gets
Yeah,
right
you know
to
what?
it.
I'm sorry. The fuck?
Bridesmaids.
Straight to the meat. Straight to the
Bridesmaids.
meat.
It does qualify. It is
Yes.
the
Right?
time frame
Yeah.
and the money. You were just talking about how the fact that like not all of them are necessarily action movies.
Yes.
And so there's very few comedies that make that much money that come out in summertime that nail it the way that Bridesmaids did.
Oh, yeah.
I am doing my 2 female back-to-back picks, which is Wonder Woman and Bridesmaids.
I saw that.
But I think that of the very few comedies that qualify, Bridesmaids makes me personally laugh the most. It's the most fun. It has an iconic cast. It's hilarious and goofy and just I think it just nails all of it, and I wanted to make sure that I had a comedy note in there, and that's my one.
Right on.
Yep.
Right on.
Good pick.
At the time of this recording, yesterday was his 10-year anniversary.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yes. A stacked who's who of female comedians.
Yes. Funny as hell.
Best of the best.
Of current at that time and former Saturday Night Live. Like
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
when people talk about like SNL movies, it's like Blues Brothers or
Wayne's World or-
Wayne's World, but Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah,
It's
that's
Bridesmaids.
that's one of the ones.
John
yeah.
Hamm was just
Person-
a
He was
jerk.
a
man.
legend.
Straight
John
jerk.
Hamm
legend.
needs to do more
Yeah.
comedy.
Yes,
so funny.
absolutely.
He's
He's,
so funny.
hilarious
He's
in Kimmy
so
Schmidt.
funny.
Dude,
He's so good in
yeah,
Kimmy
John
Schmidt.
Hamm is fantastic.
He's so good in 30 Rock. Like, he is so funny.
Tina Fey knows John
Because
Hamm.
it's like you see him and you're like, okay, he's ridiculously handsome. handsome and he looks like, middle-aged Batman. Like, okay, cool. But he's hilarious.
Yeah.
And that's who you would bring in.
Very versatile actor.
Yeah, that's who
Yeah.
you bring in.
Man. Oh, man. If only we got a John Hamm Batman movie.
That would have been...
If only. Better than Robert Pattinson. All right. German Jackson.
on me, huh?
It's on you, sir. Y'all didn't let him peek at my list while I was gone, did you?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
No, I want to win, man.
I think I like your cocksure tone.
Yeah. That was well done. That was, man,
All right, let's
delivered perfectly.
Let's go ahead and knock another one of these blockbusters off of here. When you think of the summer, there is one actor you think of.
Okay.
And so I'm going to pick one of his movies off during his heyday, Men in Black.
I knew it. That was my next one.
Yes.
My mom
On
said
my
the other day
list.
she hates this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember going back and
My
rewatching the
kids
first
love it.
one, and like the comedic timing in this
Yes.
is just incredible.
It's
in
more
there.
of a comedy than an action movie
Yeah.
for a blockbuster.
I think so.
perfectly
Yeah.
balanced, man.
Yeah.
It's perfectly balanced.
Oh my!
As all things
goodness.
should be.
That's all things should be.
Yeah, just Will Smith with that infinite charisma and everything, and then
Yep.
Tommy Lee Jones just playing the stick in the mud,
Dry as shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
man,
this
it
is
just
so
worked.
good.
It's like that whole world of Men in Black was just phenomenal. Just seeing that colorful cast of characters.
It's delightfully goofy, and we
Yeah.
get a little bit of Putty at the very beginning there.
Yeah, Patrick Warburton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he was the second one, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he's the second one.
Yeah.
He's the second one. And the reveal at the end of like there's more to this. Than
Yeah,
oh, you remember
Yeah.
My man Tony Shalhoub or whatever.
Yep.
Have any idea how much that stings?
this? I love me some Tony Shalhoub, man.
Oh man, such a fun movie.
Yeah, that is a good fun movie.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is. Absolutely well done.
I love that, and I love that Barry Sonnenfeld vibe, man. He's just like between that and like his Adam
Like mischief,
family
like
stuff.
mischief
Yeah.
sounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Danny Elfman do that the
For
score?
Men in Black?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It sounded kind
It
of like
sounded
some
like
of
an
his
Elfman.
stuff. Yeah.
It had that mischief sound.
Meant to,
Yeah.
meant to mention Elfman during the Batman talk.
Yeah.
But forgot
Yeah.
about it. Damn, good call. That
was good.
It wasn't even on my damn list.
It was on my list. That
Oh
was
yeah, to go back, you were mentioning like you're talking about soundtracks.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting here looking at my list, and I'm like, yeah, I would listen to all of these.
I know you
Like,
would.
Yeah.
and-
If you didn't know you were consciously picking that, you were unconsciously
right?
picking
I
it.
was like, I've got.
I sat here making my list like Pete's gonna pick music movies.
I've got, like I'm looking at it. I'm like, I've got
There's one-
Silvestri. I've got Fidel.
Yeah.
I've got what's it? Fucking
John
Danny
Williams?
Elfman.
yeah.
I've got John Williams.
Yes,
I've
yeah.
got more Silvestri. Like it's just the bad. I didn't even realize I picked it like that. But it's like, damn, these
Yep.
are some composers right here.
Always.
Yeah, Pete's people can leave the theater and then hop around and cruise around for a little bit and just listen to the vibe.
All 7 of them.
All
They're gonna have a
seven.
great time.
all 7 people that vote for it.
There was one.
I don't think I like your cocksure tone.
When doing my research, there was one very musical movie that I was surprised made that would have made the list.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
it's
there's-
over to me
yeah.
now.
There is one.
I'm rolling it around on my fingers. And I know
It's on mine.
if
It's
it's
on mine.
what I'm
We'll
thinking-
see. We'll see who gets it, but it's on mine.
If it's what I'm thinking you're thinking, I woke up today and the very first thing I saw on Twitter was a thread of people hating that movie.
No.
Really? It was the first thing my eyeballs saw this morning.
Disrespect. The disrespect.
Like, it was a tweet, and I was like, really? They're shitting on that movie? And it was like a couple hundred replies, and I was like, oh, so this person got ratioed. And I went and looked, and I was like, oh, no, it's just everyone agreeing with them. Oh, they thought that was actually fun. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Film Twitter trademark is not great.
I'm wondering if we are thinking about the same.
I'm also
movie.
curious.
Yeah,
I may
yeah.
end up doing that as my next pick just to throw it out there. We'll see.
All right.
Well, let's see how it goes.
It's on me since old Yerman Jackson got that Lion King off the list. I'm not liking that too much. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my this is gonna be my Saturday matinee for the kids joint, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To have some fun shit. Iron Giant.
Yeah.
There it
Yep.
is, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was on my kid list. Yep.
Was not on my radar.
What a fucking
I feel like you
great
got to have
film.
one kid list movie, and that's a
Well,
great
yeah,
pick.
yeah.
Pete's kid list movie is T2, which is weird.
He's like, don't
not
worry,
that
kids.
weird.
He kneecaps them. It's fine.
It's not that weird if you know my kids.
It's like that part where the
Or it
T1000
explains
put the
everything.
blade through that the milk carton. It's like
My son laughed out loud when that happened. He went, He like pointed at the screen DiCaprio style. I was like, that right there.
Not a red flag at all.
No, but you know what we can do? We can do a blind date with your son and one of my daughters. That's fine. That's wow. We can do Christmas together. That sounds like a good time.
Iron Giant asked the question of what if a weapon chooses not to be a weapon? Some people call it the best Superman movie there is.
Yes.
It is. It works on levels, right? It is a great fun movie for kids to watch and be like, I like that giant robot, or I identify with that kid, or that scruffy Han Solo knockoff guy is kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Harry Connick Jr.
Oh, the decade of Connick.
Boom.
And then on another level, it does tell it makes you think of accountability. And just because you can make something to be a weapon doesn't mean you should make something to be a weapon, and you know, responsibility and all that kind of good shit. Surprisingly deep for quote unquote just a kids movie. Iron Giant on maybe Disney Plus. Possibly on somebody's streaming service out there somewhere. If you've never watched this movie, do yourself all the favors. I came to it decades late, and I'm shamed for it.
It's an excellent
I watched
movie.
it for the first time maybe 2 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it is.
Oh no, I was
fun.
waiting for that bitch to drop on VHS. I was waiting. I saw that in the theater and went, "This is going to be everyone's going to love this film." And literally, when it came out, no one did.
It's a bit of a cult classic.
It
at
really
this point.
is.
Yeah.
But I went through a period where as soon as I picked it up on VHS, I was like, "Y'all, we're
Yeah.
fucking watching this."
Yeah.
And people would watch it and go, "Wow, that's a really good movie." I'm like, "You motherfucker should have gone to the goddamn theater and
right.
saw it and supported this
You
bitch 'cause
ruined
it was
it.
great."
Yeah.
Trying to see how did it do in
Was
the.
that Brad Bird's first?
Lion King barely beat out Iron Giant. That's what it was. Yeah, and that's Brad Bird, man, announcing himself to the world before Incredibles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how that movie is all fun and games until he changes into a fucking cannon.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh shit.
Oh, no.
You guys came to battle today.
Yeah, right.
Like he just went from cute to fucking full on Transformer. Like, well, it's on now.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and take my second joint. Man, I haven't dipped into the MCU, so let me go ahead and do that. Listen, that's early May 2008. That's what started everything.
Yep.
You
Yep.
got to go with the
Going
Iron
with
Man.
the Iron Man.
Yeah, you know, and
That's a no-brainer.
Probably what's going to identify people as my list because Tony Stark is my guy.
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
unashamed of that.
Damon Hurd's not
That
going to
was the
vote for
most.
you.
Nope.
That was the most Tony Stark of the movies. Like that was the most Tony Stark.
Oh, yeah.
That opening scene in the Hummer. My goodness!
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
maximum charisma. Like that was the most Tony
had
Stark.
I think had anybody else done that, you know, had it been any other actor doing that performance in that Hummer, you would have hated Tony Stark. 'Cause
Follow up.
He was a dick.
Most women hate Tony Stark.
Yeah.
for
I
that
didn't.
scene.
I didn't
But
know
first-
this.
so you know.
I just read this recently, but apparently Sam Rockwell did audition and didn't get it, but then they immediately cast him as Justin Hammer for the second movie because he was so close to the.
Oh, wow.
And if anyone else, because it was Robert Downey Jr. 100%.
Yeah.
But if anyone else could have done it,
That-
it might have been Sam.
That charisma.
And the same
man.
thing for
It's
Hiddleston, and he went out for Thor.
Thor,
And
yeah.
they gave him
Yeah.
Loki instead.
Yep.
I mean, the fact that the movie had no script, they were improving.
You could
scenes
tell
all over the
sometimes,
place.
like,
yeah, there's one
especially-
scene in particular. I
yeah,
think, where- what's
especially the back and forth between him and Pepper.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the scene.
Yeah.
When you don't even know what your social security number is.
Yeah.
9.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9.
Because
Okay.
when they were going back and forth arguing, it sounded like a real argument.
Yes.
Like,
Are you talking about where she's listing all the things he has to do?
Yeah.
He's hanging up the picture.
yeah, because he's going on rambling on and
Yeah,
doing
please-
his own thing.
Please
and
don't
she's
harangue me
yeah,
about that.
Yeah.
No,
For me, it's when they're talking at the formal joint.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old daughter was watching that scene and she's like, "They're gonna kiss," and I was like, "Baby, that's what calls chemistry." They're on it. They're
Waited a
on it.
whole nother movie before they did it.
A whole other movie for it. Yeah. It started something the likes of which we have never seen before.
Yep.
It's one of my favorite Marvel films.
Yeah.
It's one I haven't seen in probably like 6 years.
Having
Yeah, I just watched
rewatched
it a couple
is
months ago.
entirely worth the rewatch. It holds up.
For sure.
Yeah.
The only
For
thing
sure.
that's a little bit wonky is like the armor is a little too glossy.
Yeah.
And like you don't notice that. I didn't notice that they had fixed that throughout. like every movie was less gloss and more
Like
natural.
matte.
Yeah.
There are
But,
also
like,
definitely some lines in there that kind of date it too.
there was a couple.
mentioning MySpace and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You see them whip out the
Yeah.
you see them whip out the cell phones, and it's like
Yeah,
the,
flippy phones.
Yeah.
And, because we got real quick into the near future in the MCU as a
Yeah.
whole.
I feel like
and that
it went
movie was grounded in modern times.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah.
All right, yeah, we will never catch up to the MCU. They're forever 5 years ahead of us. That's
right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Jackson, it is
Yes,
on
yes,
you.
yes,
Let's keep this
yes.
train rolling.
All right, let's go ahead and stay on this. This is a Mechas train here. Let's go ahead and pull Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Well done.
Wow, not even on my list.
Absolutely on my
Dude,
list.
Yeah.
at the time, Who
Featuring
Framed Roger-
Tom Brady.
Yes, Who Framed Roger Rabbit was that business, and like nothing.
It
had
was
ever,
the blockbuster
Yes.
movie of '88.
Yep.
Yes, nothing had ever been done like that before. Like seeing like all the, it shouldn't have worked.
It shouldn't have worked.
Yeah, seeing all those various cartoon characters from different.
Think about the licensing.
That was a
rights that they
licensing
had to-
nightmare.
Exactly. They had to
could
go
not-
through.
They would
to
not
get-
do that today.
Nope.
Yeah,
There's
no.
no way.
If you think about like the closest that we got, it was Ready Player One, and I enjoyed seeing all
Drop
those.
the ball.
I enjoyed seeing all those licenses that they grabbed, but if you really think about each individual license that they grabbed, it was scraps.
Yeah,
They picked
for
up
the most
scraps,
part. Yeah,
and like that was A game stuff back then too. Like, oh my goodness,
yeah.
They got Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny in the same fucking movie.
That's right.
You got Donald Duck,
the Donald and
Daffy Duck,
the
playing
piano
the piano
stuff.
thing.
Yes,
Like
I mean, it's
Woody Woodpecker's in that shit.
some of my favorite Bob Hoskins.
oh,
yeah.
excellent.
It's like it's Hook. And
It's
then
me.
Roger
It's always
Rabbit.
me.
Yeah.
It's always me then.
Yeah.
But yes, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
for
me.
sure.
But
me.
think about,
It's me.
I mean, what you really got to think about in that is how hard it is for actors to play against something that's not really there.
especially
And-
back then, it was like
yeah,
unheard
when they
of.
were
Like,
creating
yeah.
the tech to do this with,
Right.
And they were inventing like the
He's staring at a tennis ball.
yeah,
Like-
yeah, or like when when Jessica Rabbit is singing the song to him and she pulls his tie, and it's like that was just a guy with a little clip like this,
Yeah.
and he has to look at that like it's a hot woman,
Yeah.
remembering the drawing that they showed him before they shot the scene, right? So like he's working off his imagination of concept art,
Yes.
that he saw, and then the concept art that he got shown isn't even the
What they put in the
photo
movie.
reel,
Yeah.
the photo. I don't even want to say the photo representation of what they put in actually made the movie. So, God,
Well
fucking
picked.
well
Well done.
picked, man.
Well done.
I-
Yes.
I'm
Well done.
pissed that it's off my list, but I am
You know,
happy as a clam that somebody's putting it on their list.
Cool
Oh,
World is
it
still
gets all the
available.
respect.
Cool World.
All the respect.
Man, Cool
Roger
World
Rabbit gets all the
pales
respect,
in
man.
comparison.
Yeah.
Pales in comparison.
It was so good.
Roger
Like
Rabbit.
they couldn't even follow up on that. Like
No.
they couldn't
They
even do anything
shouldn't.
more with Roger
No.
Rabbit other than shorts.
They should have never tried. I mean, I just
Yeah.
no. Some
Because
movies
at some point you have to
don't need a sequel.
If you
Yeah.
see too much of him, you're gonna wonder how he closed on Jessica Rabbit. Like,
yeah.
No, as soon as I saw him, I wondered how he closed. Like, it was the very first
It was
time
like
I was
she
like,
tells you.
"Oh."
It was like Adam Sandler
He's
with
funny.
any woman
He
he's
makes-
seen
he
in
makes
that
them
movie.
laugh. He makes them
He's
laugh.
funny.
Yeah.
He's funny.
And as a kid, I was like, "Oh, is that the way?"
Yeah.
Started honing my skills.
Turns
Yeah,
out
comedy
it
game
kind
up.
of is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly
kind
works.
of is.
It mostly
Kind of
works.
Yeah. All right then, Marky Mark and
All
the
right.
Sizzle Chest Gang. What's up?
I will do an intro for this one because we've talked about kid movies.
Sorry, we don't have time. What's up? No,
No, you're right. Fair point, kid.
what you got?
So we've talked about kid movies. I've not done one yet. I do want to get one on my list. It's the greatest apocalypse movie on the planet. It's Wall-E.
Nice.
Like I don't
Great
care.
flick.
I love Mad Max. I love so many apocalyptic movies, but Wall-E is somehow the most terrifying for me. Like it's that realism of here's what rampant not just consumerism but like cronyism does. Here's what consumerism does late stage. Like here's what this all looks like. And then we still fall in love with a rickety old trash bot as well as a like, you know, modern
Sleek flying R2D2.
R2D2. Like
But
it
then you
was-
actually get to see humans
Yeah.
and what humans have become.
and that's part of the tragedy of it, and just like the sleds and the corpulence and the whole thing. I'm watching and I'm like, this is an excellent kids movie. And also, oh my God, what are we doing? Like, I love that movie. I think it's fun. I think it's got good set pieces. The animation is epic. Like, I think about some of my favorite animated movies, and like, I love Tangled. I love Moana. I love so many of what Disney has done in the last 15, 20 years. But Pixar, WALL-E just did it.
It did it. I've never seen WALL-E.
Oh my!
I haven't seen it either.
Oh.
It is
It's
a
on the
triumph.
list, though.
On the
It's one of-
Jermon's Gaping Blind Spots list?
Yeah.
Oh man,
That's
it's a
one of the
triumph, man.
I've only seen like 4
God.
Pixar movies, but that's probably
As-
would be the next one I would
As
go
I've just
watch.
described it as a
Pixar Coco.
post-apocalyptic movie,
Oh, yeah.
are you now more interested? Because yikes.
Okay.
Actually, your assessment of that film is spot fucking on. That is the best way to describe WALL-E. It's an indictment of consumerism.
Yeah.
All right.
In a post-apocalyptic world that makes you care about a rickety
That's
little
love.
robot.
That's love.
That's just love. It's just, I'm telling you, man, watch that shit.
It's
There you go.
So many people want to bag on animated movies simply because they're animated. To
Not
those
that.
people, I say, "Fi,
Yeah.
you need to go watch animated films."
Yeah.
I mean,
The majority of Pixar's output, man, it's just
Fuck
like
yeah.
it's another level. It's another
Fuck
level.
yeah.
I'm guilty of it. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm guilty of it. There's times I'm like, I don't know.
Fuck that shit. It's animated.
And every once in a while, like I get surprised. Like I had to review Raya and the Last Dragon, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this shit. And I'm like, all right, well, this is actually kind of a good fucking movie.
Okay.
And it happens to me over and over.
If
and
you
over
like
and
if
over.
you like Mad Max things, you should watch WALL-E because
Mm-hmm.
WALL-E is Mad Max for children.
All right, 8 sold.
Yeah.
It's done. And Pete Lentz, your first of 2. I got my last 3 picked out, so you guys just stay away from those 3. And
right.
I don't care what you pick.
all y'all motherfuckers are doing this kid shit, so I feel like I probably should.
Some grown
You gotta
man
have
stuff.
one.
What you say?
Oh, this is some grown man shit. I know what this is gonna be. I
Well,
know.
I'm
you
I'm
gonna go to Kid around here?
He's gonna get a pick from his favorite director.
I'm in a toss up here, so I need
Movie
to.
with 3 boobs is not kid shit.
I'm only picking one, so I have to pick selectively. And I'm going to have to go with June 19th, 2015, Pixar's Inside Out.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is not my definition of fun in the slightest. but it is an amazing movie. Man.
It's
man.
not. Well, there's fun to be had in that film. I mean, it is
In the beginning.
It's a Pixar movie, so you know going in, it's going to tug at your heartstrings
Oh, yeah.
and shit. It's going to fuck with you.
Yep.
What is currently still one of the highest grossing Pixar movies of all time.
Yep.
And it again came out June 19th.
Yeah.
Summer blockbuster
Summer
was
is-
the biggest movie of that summer. So, Inside Out absolutely making the list. I mean,
the biggest movie of that summer. Age of Ultron came out that year, sir.
yeah, but it was Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, put the numbers up. I'm curious, but
The Age of Ultron was $1 billion. I don't think. Yeah, it was $1 billion. All the Avengers have been $1 billion.
No,
Yes.
no.
I did not see that movie.
I mean,
I don't think- I-
y'all just because y'all think it's whack doesn't mean it didn't make $1 billion. Of
No,
course
no.
it made $1 billion.
I mean, I
it's
think-
Age of Ultron.
I
think-
I say the same thing every time I get on Spotify, so yeah, I get it.
I
That
think
makes sense.
Transformers: Age of Extinction is whack as fuck. That shit made $1 billion. So
Age of Ultron is dope.
Yes.
Thank you,
okay.
Javon.
I
I've been
will-
defending this movie
I will
for
cape
6
for-
years.
it's the weakest Avenger film.
It
That's
is,
like-
but that does not mean
It
it's
shouldn't be
1.4
called
billion.
Age-
That's like saying the worst Beatles album. Like,
There's
that's
there's
true.
one of those
Damn
too.
It, that's true.
That shit is
No, well said.
And
Javon, well
WandaVision
said.
has retroactively made that movie better.
It has made it better retroactively.
okay.
You're right.
Yeah. Anyways,
I mean, kind of. All right, but anyway,
kind of. Get out.
anyway, shut up. Inside Out. I personally, if I'm going to put them next, if I put them just Avengers: Age of Ultron and Inside Out next to each other, Inside Out's a better movie.
Okay then.
That's a hot take.
It's
hot take.
It's a fucking better movie, man.
It is.
scorching.
It's
Scorching.
Let's see, Inside Out or Avengers: A Couple Days of Ultron. Like,
that
couple-
shit helped
That's not a
define
bad-
Tony Stark. Like that. First of all, the whole MCU has been like someone said.
He
On
wiped out a
a
city.
podcast. It is the rise and fall of Tony Stark. That's what
I-
the MCU has been, and everything switches at Age
I would
of
say
Ultron.
that. I would say that the impact of Age of Ultron is more than the movie itself.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
that I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
my
so that's-
daughter watched Inside Out the other day, and that Bing Bong scene was coming up, and I was like, I gotta go in the kitchen and do something real quick.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't want to watch this.
No. Damn it, Bing Bong.
Yeah, that Bing Bong shit hurt.
Yeah, sometimes at a summer blockbuster movie, you need to feel things.
Pixar.
Not
ain't
my summer
Pixar
blockbuster.
ain't shit with that emotional manipulation, man.
That and the Toy Story 3, man. Look.
Oh my God.
Okay,
So my next
Your next pick.
one,
you're number 8. Starting off round 8.
dude, he's a wackadoo, but I feel like this movie also encapsulates what a blockbuster movie is. Fucking Tom Cruise.
Which one is it?
May 22nd, 1996, Mission Impossible.
Original Mission.
Yeah.
OG Mission.
The original.
Yeah.
The original.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
That movie was awesome action. Like, you're not wrong. You're
Listen,
not wrong.
I don't think so. I think that's an awesome spy movie with a little bit of decent action in there.
All right.
That's why it's my favorite Mission Impossible. They did spy shit. That is the most spy.
You're right.
Oh,
They got
yeah,
more
that's right.
action.
Yeah.
You're right.
And
Ethan Hunt
then-
actually does the work.
And then Woo and Doves took over in too and made it straight action ever since.
My Mission Impossible 2, I thought was garbage.
Yeah, everyone
do
else
not-
thinks it's garbage too.
It's my if I'm talking about my
did
favorite
that- it
Mission
defi-
Impossible, it
you
is the
know-
weakest. It is the worst.
Now back then, I loved it because I love John Woo and
Yeah, I
all
wanted
his
that.
sensibilities, but
Yes.
it does not age well.
right,
It does not
I
age
wanted
well.
I wanted MI2 to be good because it was John Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I watched it and I was like, turns out John Woo is actually bad for this type of film.
Yes.
He's bad at American films for the most
yeah.
part. Yeah, like Bulletproof Monk wasn't all that great. I think that's
wasn't John Woo.
It's not John Woo?
No.
Oh, thank God.
No,
he was well out of
he thinks
Hollywood
it's that
by then.
because Chow Yun Fat was in it.
Just give me like a Hard Boiled 2 or The Killer 2, and
Yeah.
I would be happy.
Yeah.
Right.
but-
Hard boiled fucking A.
Hard boiled is that shit.
Hard Boiled is that shit.
But yeah,
We
Mission
have
Impossible.
to. Mission Impossible 2 had to exist in order to get us that Hugh Jackman Wolverine. So it has its.
You're right.
It
Yes.
has its purpose. But what's your favorite thing about this first Mission Impossible?
Well, I got to be honest. It took me a while to come around to it because I had watched when I was a kid. I watched the original show in syndication, and then I remember watching
Great.
the ABC reboot. And then of course I played the video game for NES that
Yeah.
was based on the reboot, right?
Yeah.
And so I was in love with Mission Impossible. To me, Mission Impossible was always all about the team.
Yeah.
And it always pissed me off when the very first fucking thing that happens to Ethan Hunt is his entire team gets killed and he has to go
Yeah.
off. But then it's like, well, okay, I guess throughout the course of the movie, he does assemble a new team.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But like,
better
but they all end up like rogue and shit. And it's like, well, that was, and then making Jim Phelps the bad guy really made me mad.
That
at first.
a lot of people were mad about that. When
Like
it first
that,
came out.
but you know, as you look back on it, it's like that signified that the franchise was moving in a new direction. It's like we just had an entire legacy of Jim Phelps being the guy.
Yep.
And now we're going to move this on and move this into a new time frame with a new character and everything. It's very Kylo Ren. Let the past die.
Yeah.
Kill it if you have
Kill it
to.
if you have to.
And they fucking did, man. Make him a bad guy and then smoked him. And it was like,
Let's do it.
I'm okay with this. Woosah.
Yeah.
Rub the,
But
you know,
here's-
rub the
Rub the
ears.
Here's the thing. Yeah, they did that to move forward, and they have.
They have.
Like, they've
That's
got
a
movies come out
franchise.
to this day.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. The thing about it is they didn't rely heavily, like I think a couple of Mission Impossibles did later on the face ripoff.
Yeah.
joke.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
That became a little
Yeah.
bit tropey, but here you only get it twice, I think.
Yep.
And the second time in the train when you think it's Jim Phelps and he pulls it off and you're like,
Oh, that fucked with me, dude. That was good shit.
And then you get probably one of the most parodied scenes in cinema
Yeah,
history
they
with
did
the,
do that a
the
lot.
dangle.
Yeah,
Oh, they did that
yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
But I mean, like parodied scene, but that was the first time. That was the
it made
first
an
time you
impact.
get to
Yeah,
see that.
right, it made an impact.
The tension of that scene, yeah, it's just
Yeah, just no sound, no
Right.
temperature.
Yeah.
And again, I was
It's
like,
crazy.
this was when, this was back at a time when we were being conditioned to love Tom Cruise.
That's right.
And now Tom Cruise touches stuff and it's like, it just feels poison to me.
Yeah.
well.
Like, I'm just like,
See, I think
Y'all crazy.
I think now,
He's
yeah,
one
because
of
I
the
want to see what
greatest
kind of
entertainers of our
wild
time.
shit he's gonna do next.
no, he is
Like,
a good entertainer. It's just,
But he's a prick.
he's a little wackadoo.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, and of course,
You know what? You
his-
can be crazy. Just don't be a prick.
right.
Okay, fair enough. We talked about him yesterday, me and Javon and Brian. He is to American audiences what Jackie Chan is to Asian audiences.
Do they think
he
he's a
puts
prick?
his No. Like he puts his body on the line.
Oh, yeah,
for
for
the
sure.
cause of
You
entertainment.
forget.
Yeah.
This man is pushing 60.
Yeah, he does his stunts.
Right.
Yeah.
He does his
Right.
stunts.
He puts his body on the line. No, Jackie Chan is a wonderful man, sir.
Yeah, he is.
All right,
say. Oh,
Mark,
no.
it's on you, sir.
I'm going to go with an action film again because I want to bring it back full circle here. And I want to touch on something that I thought was important. And first of all, I'm going to say the name of the movie. It's called The Rock. And,
Welcome to The Rock.
And the reason that I think it is a big deal to me is that not only was it like all of the qualifiers, it's funny, it's charming, it's action packed. It was one of the few times where, especially in the 90s, like we had so much pro-America, pro-nationalist, pro-military stuff. And it's not that The Rock was anti-military, but these guys, like, they were fighting for the families of the fallen, and they weren't villains in such a traditional way. And so, like,
A couple of them were.
some of them were bad. Some of them just wanted to murder.
Some of them
people.
were pieces of shit.
But like Ed Harris,
Absolutely awesome.
had a mission. And what I loved about it was like that movie was one of the few movies. I mean, I was like in my early teens when that movie came out, and I was watching it and going, "Oh, like not everything is black and white. Not everybody is the bad guy. Like this was a gray scenario as far as I'm concerned, and I still dug the action, the fun. Nick Cage was crazy, but not all the way crazy. Sean Connery was doing his normal thing, and like, and Ed Harris was powerful, and the action sequences were intense. Like, I don't know why I needed Nick Cage to be the science nerd, but it weirdly works. Like, just he did a bunch of action movies after that were all very good, and I mean, I have Face Off on my list, but like. Him being the action nerd worked the best as far as I'm concerned. So I really dug that movie. I thought it was a really good summer blockbuster. And
But clearly he fucked the prom queen, though. So
he
there was
fucked the
that.
prom queen.
That's what winners do.
That's what winners do.
Winners fuck the prom queen.
That's right. And that's an epic line.
It really is. It really is.
Gotta find some rockets.
Yeah.
That's a movie that I wanted to watch before. Just couldn't find anywhere on streaming though. You gotta
No,
rent it.
It's very deep. You gotta rent
You gotta
that.
rent it, man. I haven't watched.
I went
it
looking
in
forward to
years.
show it
I'd
to the
love
kids.
to see that. I think I have it on
Like-
VHS somewhere buried deep.
Nice.
I'm going to try and dig that out.
Dig that out, sir.
Nice.
Mr. Jackson, it is on you, sir.
Yes. Let's go ahead and take probably one of the biggest blockbusters out there off the board here. One of the movies that probably sparked my love for peanut butter, E.T.
Yep.
E.T., the extraterrestrial.
100% on my list.
God, that movie was like
Not on my list.
there were very few movies as a kid that I remember going to the theater over and over and seeing, and E.T. was definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. For some reason, that one just never caught on with me.
That was just like it was one of the first times I think I was aware of the power of merchandise. Because back in the days, I think I had like E.T. everything at one point.
Nah.
Like I remember back in the days getting those books and records and all that
Oh, yeah.
stuff. And my goodness.
Did you eat the cereal?
I did eat the cereal.
Did you play the Atari game?
No. The God, no.
Did you buy more Reese's Pieces?
I probably did.
Did you own a Speak and Spell?
I think I had one back in the day. Yeah, see, merchandise.
Yeah,
Did you drink Coors?
Kids, your mom was like, "We need that
As a
6-pack,
4 or 5-year-old kid, yes, I was drinking.
Did you ever call a sibling penis breath?
I forgot about that line.
There's nothing like that penis breath.
But that was that Spielberg magic, man.
That was definitely during the magic years.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
One of the greatest scores of all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
John Williams coming harder than he had ever come before.
Dude,
Yeah.
that
Does
Williams,
he have children? Because I think he used all the cum.
Oh,
on that
yeah.
one.
yeah, that
Yes, he
Williams Spielberg collab, man.
That's a winning formula for
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, what the Spielberg Williams team up is.
Yeah,
at
it's
this point.
classic.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which is more classic, the Spielberg Williams or the Lucas Williams, but both of them are equally as
Yeah.
potent.
Lucas Williams wins for me, but the
When I
Spielberg
saw-
Williams cannot be.
I
ignored.
assume you went when they did the symphony tour in Charlotte, but when they did
I didn't get to.
Oh no. All right, well I'm about to blow your mind because
No, I went to the video games live one instead.
when the Charlotte Symphony did John Williams, they did like basically 3 sets, and it was like the prequels, the originals, and then they did like the outliers, and
Those other ones.
but like I mean, just like so that John Williams, it was John Williams, not like Lucas John Williams, it was just John Williams. And when they did Hook, like they brought the fucking house down.
Yeah, that Hook, man. Hook is people just keep sleeping on. Anyway, we're gonna keep on
People
rolling
keep
with
sleeping
this.
on Hook. That's right.
Gonna keep rolling with this train. It is over to me, and I feel like this might pick me up a vote or two with a couple of film nerds out there. You can't have a whole ass blockbuster draft without drafting the movie that created what
God
we now
damn
know is the summer blockbuster.
Yep.
You talk about John Williams and scores, man.
Yep.
A minimalist score, just done, and that's all you get, man.
Sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Jawas.
Yep.
That was actually number 1 on my list.
Why?
Because it was
The first blockbuster.
first blockbuster.
Right, but like it's the 7th pick right now.
Eighth.
Eighth?
We just finished out the 8th round.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I was.
He was
wasn't
crying over getting sniped so many times.
but I wasn't sleeping on it. I wanted to drive it home. I
Coast
wanted to
into it.
see
Okay,
how
right.
far around the table we were going to get before
right.
I had to play
That's
the
fair.
Jaws card.
Yeah. All right.
This motherfucker.
Well done.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's fairly low on my list, actually. Actually, it's just the middle of my list. But I feel like we're getting towards the end, and I feel like if none of us had drafted it, people are gonna be like, "What?" The fuck
They
are
would have
y'all
gotten
doing
mad
that?"
for sure.
So I'm like, maybe that'll give me a vote or two to throw that on there. It created the blockbuster, man. Yeah. It's one of those like greatnesses born out of mishaps and accidents, right? Much like Star Wars, like the shark fucked up all the time, which led to us not
the
seeing
tension.
a
That's
lot
the
of the shark,
tension.
and that's the tension. That and that, dun, 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 dun. And I think that the movie hinges on 3 things. It hinges on not seeing the shark and the score that accompanies when that shark is around. The monologue that we get on the boat.
Yeah.
Who I can't think of that actor's name right now. But that
Dreyfus?
No, that's not Dreyfus.
No, it
that
wasn't
gives
Dreyfus.
that
That did it.
monologue.
Yeah.
It's the guy who plays Red Granton from Russia with Love. Anyways, not Scheider. Whoever it was.
Yeah.
And then it hinges on what we thought was silly, but over the course of the year we've now seen is 100% true, is the absolute ignorance of people in that town. Those are the 3 things that movie, those are the legs that movie
mayor,
stands on.
that picture of that mayor, man.
Picture
It's
that
just
man.
like-
I mean, Chris Baker used it, and it is perfect. It's pretty much the no, we can't close things down. And I understand.
Yeah.
Like
It's
that
money.
is
It's
their
money.
revenue.
Yeah.
That's like
especially in
that's their lifeblood.
2020. Yeah,
We're coming into that movie in a whole new light.
yeah, like that was
sure.
that town's lifeblood. If you close that beach down, you put a lot of people out of jobs without food, shit like that. So I understand where he's coming from, but you still got to put lives above everything else. Yeah. And
Would you feel good about a
Nope.
remake? Yeah.
nope.
Yeah. I was wondering that.
They have tried to do a shark movie. It seems like every 5 to 10
That's what I'm
years.
saying.
and
Like
it's just been like
I liked Deep Blue Sea, and we've talked about it before. But like, I like that movie, but I don't know if I want to see an original.
I think
remake.
I think the shark trope has been beaten to death.
And I think we
Too much.
the
Too much for
Meg
people
made a
to
whole bunch of money.
appreciate.
Yeah.
For people to appreciate something like Jaws.
You're right.
Okay.
It is the subtlety of that movie.
Yeah, and it's the fact because all the other ones just showed you a shit ton of shark.
That's right.
They don't understand that that's where the tension comes from. All right, and
Just the fin and the unseen.
yeah, like you hear
LL
more of the
Cool J
score.
did
than you-
talk about my life. I'm just like a Sharks fan.
Jesus Christ.
deepest bluest.
My second and penultimate.
He also did say knock you out.
Yeah, you do.
You know what? We've been talking a lot of fun and adventure, man.
Oh boy.
I got to go back to my swashbuckle.
Let's do it.
I got to go Last Crusade, man.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go. You can't. The Indiana Jones movies are just.
I was
fucking.
wondering
I'm actually
why-
surprised.
Nobody
it is,
has thrown that in there yet, and that I feel like that's a classic. I assume Pete Lentz was going to do all of them.
just doing trilogy at his theater.
I don't know if you all have noticed this, but I'm not playing the old cool
You've
game
not
this time.
done 80s enough. I'm
Yeah,
worried
you only
about
got
you.
one
Are you
80s
okay?
movie. Yeah,
I
this is-
would like
That is
to win a
Blockbuster Central.
fucking draft.
My man trying to get into that Draftomania, man.
I'm really just here to impress Damon Hurd.
It's a hard match.
You know what? Two shout outs
and I
is going to
never
do
impressed
it.
them.
2 shout outs is going to do it.
3, actually.
Yeah,
If
you're
he
right,
pays
3.
attention,
Yeah,
he's going to hear
right.
3.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a terrible person. I've been trying to tell y'all for years. Listen, I think Raiders is the far more fun and better movie. I will preface that, but the poll just went out the other day. Which you think is the favorite, and Last Crusade won. So that's why I'm going with Last Crusade, because it'll give me a little bit more votes. It is my number 2. I adore the dichotomy of Sean Connery. There's a double dichotomy going on there. There's Harrison Ford versus Sean Connery, right? Young, energetic, and old, like, well, if we just sit down, a solution will present ourselves. And then there's the fact that this motherfucker was the first James Bond.
That's right.
And the old. So they're playing on a couple of levels there. And just
It's meta. There have some meta to it. You're right.
Yeah, and there's the fact that you have Sean Connery as Harrison Ford's dad just makes sense.
It's charisma
I think it's-
meeting charisma.
That's exactly
genetically.
what it is.
I think it started.
Yeah.
I think it started that trope in those franchises where you get to that point where the main character has daddy issues.
That's why Shia
Every
LaBeouf
franchise.
is the Chris. Sorry, I'm sorry. I couldn't keep a straight face to that joke. I tried to finish the
They
joke,
definitely
and
made
then I
fun
just
of that
couldn't do it.
in Austin Powers and Goldmember.
Right. It's fun.
I eat because I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy because I eat. It's a vicious cycle.
They realized that Temple of Doom didn't quite do what they thought it would, so they were like, well, let's go back to what worked the first time: Nazis. And the occult, or something of religious, credence. And they had that magic. It worked all over again. You get Allison Doody looking amazing as Elsa Schneider.
Yep.
Man, you get the turn of the guy that hired him in the first place. It's there's a lot of Walter Donovan. There's a lot of shit going on, and then of course we get the "he chose poorly," which is like quoted all over the place. It's
Very memeable.
everywhere.
The penitent man will pass, and Jehovah begins with an I.
Yeah, that's what that movie taught us. That
Right.
is in Arabic,
In the Latin text.
in the Latinist text. Yeah, Jehovah begins with an I. Nice. Jamont.
Oh yes, I've noticed recently with these last few picks, we've kind of been in a Spielberg pocket, whatever. And I'm going to stay in said pocket. I'm going to go ahead and take Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Well, you're taking Raiders.
Yep.
That was my final pick because Jaws had got picked. I was going to slide Jaws in there.
right.
Raiders was the other one, and now all of my original picks are now gone. So
admittedly, we got down
My last two are gonna be some dark horses.
The final round that you finally got all your top 10 pulled. That's not bad.
There's still so much left.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's
still
more.
a good. There's still a
There's
good amount
more.
of.
I have an abundance. I'm good. I feel good.
oh no, I have plenty to choose
I
from.
imagine you do with Mr.
Okay.
Dates and times. And
Oh yeah, I got them all.
box office numbers.
I found good websites. I did not have to Google each one.
Yeah, that opening sequence alone was worth the price of admission.
Alfred Molina.
Yeah.
Throw me the idol. Throw me the whip.
No time to argue.
Fingers rubbing together. That music leading up to it, man.
Yeah, and that whip when he cracks him with that whip or whatever, and then you see him come into the frame.
Step
It's
into
like
the- like, oh, this is our dude right here.
Yeah.
Just all scruffy and
swagger
shit,
just
and-
all over the place.
Ton
Just
of
like-
fantastic composite shots in that scene too, where when the rocks finally start tumbling, there are actual rocks next to him, and then a backdrop of rocks of a different scene that all work together to make it look like the entire place is coming down. It's like you think about that's what 80, 81?
81, I believe.
Just unbelievable filmmaking for that time. Still using tricks that were established, many years prior to that, but making it look fucking rad and keeping the mystique
also,
alive.
Harrison Ford was fucking jacked in that movie.
He looks great in that movie.
His
dude.
muscle mass was substantial. Like Bruce Willis never got as jacked.
No.
As Harrison Ford.
That's why he was so popular in Die
Like,
Hard, 'cause
he
was
was-
so
He wasn't.
anti.
He was the
unjacked,
anti-action hero.
But he started to
dad
get
bod.
jacked, but he never Harrison Ford was jacked in that movie.
Yeah, he looks delicious. He's a snack in that
He's
movie.
a snack in that movie.
Yeah, as is Karen Allen as well. Yes. Marion Ravenwood. Good call, sir. Good
Well done.
call. Yeah. Mark.
Okay. Getting close. We're getting close.
Your penultimate, sir.
Armageddon.
Nice.
Not
nice.
even on my man. My
So
list was
here's
bugging.
here's the thing.
I don't
about,
know what kind of this Michael Bay love you're showing.
It's
I
not
don't
about
get
that,
it.
but you know
Well,
what? First of
I
all,
mean-
Double bang.
First of all,
double bang.
Listen, I'm not saying that because first of all, Michael Bay types his name in caps lock. Second of all,
right.
like I am not saying that he's a masterful filmmaker. What I am saying is
He makes fun
makes
fucking
he makes
blockbuster
fun
movies.
blockbuster movies. And Armageddon. You want to talk about soundtrack?
Oh yeah.
Tell me, I slow danced at every school dance from 1996 to 2002 to. Like, I mean, Aerosmith. First of all, they made the song, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They made the song.
That was a good choice.
Ben Hoofleck did his job.
Ben Hoofleck.
Ben Hoofleck did his job. Like
Maybe the last time Bruce Willis cared.
Bruce Willis
I
cared.
think Looper was the last time
Yeah,
he
Looper,
cared.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Like so, and I remember that summer because Deep Impact, as a apocalyptic crash down kind of movie, like Deep Impact was a scarier movie.
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
it showed it at home.
it was real. It's more real.
It was more realistic, right? But like as a fun popcorn movie, Armageddon had it hands down. It was more fun. I don't care. Like, show me miners on a fucking asteroid, like trying to blow that shit up. That is silly, and I want to see that.
Yes.
Like, I want to see that, and then like build that tension because they found a gas pocket, and then like shoot a.
Say
fucking,
what you
Dude,
will.
this cat said, "Show me minors," and I was like, "Why are 18-year-olds and under gonna be trying to?"
Show me dudes. That's like we're not astronauts. We're miners. Okay, well, yeah, we need you to like drill.
Yeah.
All right, well, good. That's
yeah.
what we do.
That's what we do, yeah.
That's what we do. Like that movie is stupid and
That-
it's fun. And
that
guess
movie-
what? If I'm flipping through TBS and Armageddon's playing, which if I'm flipping through TBS, I have a 1 in
Armageddon
3
is
chance.
playing.
I have a 1 in 3 chance. I'm not turning it off. It's a fun movie. I don't like all the voters that are listening to this are going to be like, yeah, shit, I do watch Armageddon. Fuck.
Say what you will about Michael Bay, man. He
I
makes
put it
that
on.
popcorn
I
shit.
put it on.
Yeah.
It's that butt rock stupid lowest com. It's that stupid shit. Like I don't like Shinedown, but like they keep playing on the radio over and over again for a reason.
That movie still makes my wife cry.
It's
Still to this
beautiful.
day, yeah.
Like when I cry at Deep Impact, it's because we've lost so much. It's sad. I'm like, oh God, Colorado is the capital now. What are we gonna do? I gotta move to Denver. Oh God. I watch Armageddon. I'm like, we did it. I'm crying because we did it.
All right, right on. Right on.
Yep.
He's got feelings about this movie.
Yeah.
Pete Lentz,
Oh,
your
boy.
penultimate and
your final.
And my final.
Kick off the
All
last
right,
round.
so I'm gonna piggyback off of why the Michael Bay and why movies are
All right,
fun
yeah.
and everything.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go with one that I don't feel like in any of the drafts. And man, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't feel like in any of the drafts this movie has been picked for anything.
no, we don't pick Transformers in these drafts.
Motherfucker, I picked Transformers '86 in my shit.
Oh, that's
I
why you
still
lost.
That's not why I lost.
Oh, okay.
I lost
Because everybody cried?
I lost for a multitude of other reasons.
Yeah, 9 other
Flight of
reasons.
the Navigator.
Was Flight of the Navigator even on one of my lists?
It was on your
Probably.
sci-fi.
Oh, that's right.
I think you also drafted
Whatever. When that purple
The
haired
Last
girl told that
Starfighter
boy
was
that
on
he
my
was
list.
cute, I was like, let that be me. I would like
Right,
that.
right.
Metropolis might be on that list.
Man,
Oh boy.
Metropolis is a great movie. Shut up.
I watched it the other day.
Twister.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Huh.
May
I can
10th,
respect that.
1996.
It got a ride at Universal for
Yes,
a
it
reason.
did. Yes, it did.
Listen, dude, Twister's that dopeness.
is.
That
It was
is
fun. It was fun.
It was
man.
fun.
That was not on my list. Man, what the fuck list were y'all watching? I forgot so much shit.
I was debating over putting Twister in the mix, but I was like,
talking
It's on
to
mine as an
someone
alternate.
about Twister this week.
Oh
Didn't have it
no,
on my
you
list.
missed it. Twister was that 96?
96.
96.
Yeah. I remember-
I knew that off the top of my head. I
You
didn't
did.
even-
You did. You were a
96.
freshman in high school.
Yeah, I was.
I remember going to. I remember going.
Well, you
to
would have been in 8th grade.
I was in 8th grade. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's adorable.
I was
Pete
not
had
in high
his
school.
first job. there.
Yeah.
Pete was clocking in. We were going to school.
I was in school.
There are no lies detected there. I was working a job in 96.
Yeah.
Business Lens was out.
Yep.
Business lens.
And he was like, how do I get in on making these little balls that go up into the tornadoes?
Right.
Yeah, what? Tell us about this Twister.
So,
sir. This is
Twister,
finally
man.
something
I
new
mean-
to talk about in this draft.
I mean, Bill Paxton.
Yep, killer.
Yes.
I mean,
Killer.
that's half the discussion right there.
You're right.
It's fucking Bill Paxton.
Yep.
Helen Hunt looking delicious.
Looking wonderful.
Maybe the best that she ever did.
correct. Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
not
I'll go
mad
with
about
that.
you.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. I love her wet in a tank top. Like I'm
Yeah.
down. You know.
And
You haven't
also
seen
she
it
had-
skip over
no,
that
she had
house
some
and that
guns.
house. They come
She was-
after you.
She was holding on to that pipe, and she had some guns
For sure.
showing, and I was like,
That's-
oh, she's done some work for
that's
this.
100%.
She had some. Yeah.
100% part of the sex appeal.
Yeah.
Like that's.
She was
I mean,
doing
just
good.
that. It's I call it the Linda Hamilton,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
this tank top, sweaty muscles.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
yeah.
like-
I'm done.
Yeah.
But
I
like
wanna do
nipples,
some pull-ups or some
nipples
shit.
poking, like do it just
Yeah.
just enough feminine, and then like also guns. Like I'm good
Right.
for all of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't Carrie Ellis in there?
Oh, yeah.
The bad
He was,
guy.
he was the villain, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Quote
Don't
unquote
put that
villain.
in quotes. He's
Yeah.
the fucking villain.
No, the
He is the
Twister was
villain.
the
The
tornado
Twister
was the
was the
villain.
villain.
No, that's just nature doing its thing. You can't call nature a villain.
That's fair. That's fair.
Nature is not a villain.
That's true.
all right?
Chaos.
That's
If you
just
really,
Earth doing Earth.
but if you
Chaos
really,
reigns.
if you really think about it, Carrie Ells is not a villain in that film.
he's just a fucking asshole.
He's a
He's
dumbass.
just a dick. He never actively tries to fuck them over.
Yep.
He doesn't ever get in their way. He doesn't give them false information.
He does get in their way, man. When they're all chasing after, and he's chasing after his team and their team.
Yeah, but that's just a
He
race.
just didn't listen.
Okay.
He just
Fair
didn't
enough.
listen
There
when
was
they were
no,
like, "Hey,
they weren't like blowing a smoke screen or dropping caltrops or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
they were just racing towards it.
You're right.
fair.
And
You're right.
Like he
Caltrops
never,
would have done it officially. Thank you for noting that. But you're right.
I'm just a
storm
big.
teams have caltrops."
they do nowadays.
I gotta be honest. I'm just a big fan of the word caltrops.
I know. That was excellent. Well done. Thank you for throwing it in.
It's wild in the weather industry, man.
You said throwing it in. Ka-ching, ching, ching, ching.
Whoa, that's a pun.
Terrible.
But yeah, I know. It's
Way to
awful.
make it pop.
But Twister, like when the fucking tornado destroys the drive-in and
cow.
the diner and there's the cow. That's a cow.
The
Like
cow.
fucking. Oh my
Philip
God!
Seymour
There's so
Hoffman
many
looking all
movies.
young.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was probably one of the for it to be a Bill Paxton led vehicle.
Yeah.
And then Bill Paxton didn't suck in it.
No.
Right? Like, because I thought, I always love Bill Paxton, but Bill Paxton fucking sucks in Titanic. He's awful.
He's supposed
He's
to.
phoning that shit in, and it's terrible.
all right.
But
Yeah,
like,
all right.
all I could think was Titanic. Just shut the fuck up, man. But
Strong
in-
feelings about Titanic.
Yeah,
right?
man.
Bill Paxton.
But in
Cameron, come on in.
In Twister, like I just love it. I love him in Twister,
No, that's
man.
excellent.
I just love him as a character. And
That was a quintessential 90s blockbuster.
you know what else we got? Some low key Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That's right.
Yep.
So
Yes, we did.
I mean, we got some Alan Ruck in there.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
some ex Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah.
so much good fucking shit happening in Twister. Still a fun movie to this day.
Yeah.
Still,
Twister was dope.
Yeah.
effects maybe just this side of not holding up, but still fun as fuck. Like
Yeah.
I still when the top of the top of the silo comes and smashes the fucking house, and then they drive through the house, and there's so much. I could go on.
Oh, it's fun.
Yes, you
But
could.
Twister.
What is
awesome.
your last pick, sir?
My final pick, and I can't even believe I'm gonna do this, but June 10th, 1994, Keanu Reeves' vehicle Speed.
That was mine!
I thought he was going to say Stargate.
No, Speed was
1994,
my
I was like,
final.
Stargate.
Speed was my final. Okay.
Listen, motherfuckers, I'm
right.
trying to
That's the right
learn
answer.
from my mistakes.
That's the right
all right.
answer.
Trying to win the game.
So,
Right answer.
Learn from
Uh,
all 7 or 8 of his mistakes.
Speed, man.
That's the right anscer.
Seed, I don't know why you hate me so much. I don't get all this hate.
Nope.
But
That's
I
right
keep
answer.
inviting you back.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, fucking Speed. Again, we are encompassing what it means to be a blockbuster film. Dennis Hopper and Keanu Reeves with some,
You want to talk cat and mouse?
huh?
You wanna talk cat and mouse?
For sure.
That's
for
it.
sure. We got some Jeff Daniels in there. Fucking
Sandy Bullock.
Sandra Bullock is the female lead. Like that. I just
In her second hottest role, Demolition Man being number 1.
oh for sure.
Yep.
For sure. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with that.
I agree.
I also
fair.
enjoyed her in Miss Congeniality, which I actually enjoyed that
But
movie
she
quite
only
a bit.
gussied in the last 5 seconds of that movie.
That's true.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true, but I like me a realistic
Because
girl.
I'm
What can I
saying
say?
that like Demolition Man, Sandy Bullock made yoga pants before yoga pants was yoga pants.
That's true. That's true.
okay. Yep.
That's true. But in Speed here, like, I mean, everybody's performance is pitch perfect. I believe everyone.
Who's that grouchy Karen woman that's always grouchy Karen in all the movies? She's in that.
Oh yeah.
You know what
She's
I'm talking about?
Grouchy Karen.
Grouchy Karen.
Grouchy Karen.
What
She
else
gets
is
run
she,
over
Grouchy
by
Karen?
the bus. She gets run over by it.
She's the one trying to reach
She's
her hand
trying to
out.
reach out,
He
and
blows
she's
up
like,
the secondary bomb and she falls.
I got cats.
Yeah,
she's
he's reaching out, or she's reaching out to get off the bus. He sees it and blows the secondary bomb, and she goes down and rolls underneath the bus and dies.
yeah. When you see her, you'll know. Grouchy Karen is in Grouchy Karen.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here.
I got cats.
I haven't seen Speed in probably 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's worthy of a rewatch.
Oh, yeah, it's absolutely
Keanu,
worthy.
It's Keanu at his least hair.
Yes, it is.
It's at his least
Buzz,
hair.
Yeah,
Buzz Keanu.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
think
Matrix is him and his least hair.
Oh, damn it. All right. Well played.
Okay.
Shit.
Mine's sliding in here with the
man.
facts.
Yeah.
All
So,
right,
to
all right.
recap Pete Lentz's list,
boy.
Theater 4.
I want you to hear this. This. I'm looking at it right now. This looks great.
So, just so you know, all of our first picks, we have cheap theaters and we only have one IMAX screen. So, all of our first picks are on IMAX.
I'm glad.
I'm okay with that.
Yep, I'm glad.
Pete's list: The Avengers, Terminator 2: Judgment Day, Batman 1989, Gladiator, Spider-Man, Forrest Gump, Inside Out, Mission Impossible, Twister, and Speed.
Pretty
That's a
damn
good-
strong.
You know what?
That's
I'm
a good
gonna switch it up. Pete, of all those movies that you drafted, which is your IMAX movie?
Oh, The Avengers.
The Avengers is your IMAX movie.
No question at all.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mark, your last pick.
My last pick, because Speed was taken, is going to be Con Air.
Wow.
It's going to be Con Air.
It's a bold choice, Cotton.
So here's the thing.
Face Off and Con Air?
I have a theme that I've been working towards most of today, and that's I think that 90s blockbusters, and I'm going to include the first Pirates of the Caribbean in that very early 2000s.
2003, I think.
So I'm going to include that in there because I think that like the 90s really did like that big blockbuster
Big
vibe,
action.
right? And so I've been going for that vibe, and I'm relying entirely on the voters to either say like yes, I agree with that, or no, because your list, Pete, is varied well. I think you've covered a lot of bases, and what I was going for was something a little bit more concrete.
Yeah.
I want to see what people are going to say about like, listen, I'm going for the big stuff right here. I've got a couple of I've got Wall-E and I've got Bridesmaids as like my outliers, but for the whole, this is what I'm going for. And Con Air 100% fits that mold. Like,
Yes.
It is Nick Cage at his Nick Cageiest before we stopped taking him seriously. It is Danny Trejo at his fucking most threatening. Like, that is just prior to Machete. Like, that is him being Machete.
All right, fair enough.
Like, that's him leading into that role. That is Steve Buscemi capitalizing on the fact that you can see him wearing faces. Like, it's not unbelievable to cast Steve Buscemi in that role.
Yes.
It is
Wearing a girl's head as a hat.
right. It is Dave Chappelle being Dave Chappelle on a plane full of convicts. Like, so much of that movie is quintessential. And then you have one of the all-time great villains, Cyrus the Virus.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Is hands down of like, I think about like movie villains, and I think Cyrus the Virus is one of the baddest, most threatening pieces of shit on the planet. And the fact that he stands next to Steve Buscemi, and Steve Buscemi is escorted out by like wands and straitjackets, and Cyrus the Virus is the actual genuine real threat because his mind and his veracity. I love Con Air. I think that is an excellent like 90s
Con Air's a lot of fun,
blockbuster.
dude.
It's a fun
That's a
movie.
fun flick.
It's a fun movie. Put the bunny fucking back in the box. Like, that's
All right, so Mark's list: Independence Day, Pirates of the Caribbean: Curse of the Black Pearl, Face Off, The Fifth Element, Wonder Woman, Bridesmaids, Wall-E, The Rock, Armageddon, and Con Air. Which is your IMAX?
I'm sticking with ID4.
94 is your
Yeah,
IMAX.
I'm
good
sticking-
solid pick.
Like that's the one you want to hear, like that sound of the spaceships going by and like all of it. Yeah.
All right then.
You want that shit to rumble your appendix.
Jamal Jackson.
Yes, final pick.
What is your final pick, sir?
Well, let's go ahead and slide over to that other sci-fi franchise. Go ahead with Star Trek 2009.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. I was thinking about it.
Yep.
I was thinking about it
Oh,
as
my
my next to last pick.
Dude,
Star
that-
Trek 09.
Such a wonderful, wonderful movie. Like
Banging.
Yes.
Bang.
As much as I love, parts of the Star Trek franchise, movies and everything, that one probably brought me back into it. And it probably brought a lot of people
Honestly,
into
I think that probably brought a lot of people to the table for the first time.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
That were
say,
like,
I don't
Star Trek's
know-
fucking
I don't
stupid.
know that there was
Here's
a
this
better
movie.
relight. I don't know that there was a better relight ever
yeah,
than that.
that is a
Like,
great casting.
Yeah.
Across the board. Like,
I think we had a whole Kelvin discussion
We
at the
did,
last,
yeah,
the last
If I
thing.
remember correctly, you weren't a huge Kelvin
I'm
guy.
not a huge Kelvin fan. I like the continuity universe, but like that one, like 09,
yeah.
there isn't a better relight. Like it's
At all.
Really, Kelvin only fell apart for me after that. Like
Okay.
when
Okay, fair.
it's not Khan is
Yeah.
not
When
Cumberbatch.
it's-
Like the whole like everything they did after that, I was like, ooh, you guys are misstepping here.
If-
but the first one, I have no.
If they had
complaint.
never done another movie after that, man, that would have been
the one.
It would have been a perfect, just one off.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And anything that gets Tyler Perry some more work is a good thing.
Well, listen, set phasers to grits, man. That's where it comes from.
The greatest.
That's where it comes
Phasers
from.
to grits.
Set phasers
Yeah,
to grits, man.
y'all got to go back and hear that first sci-fi draft.
I was there. I was there for that one. That was great.
Yeah.
That's probably been one of my favorite drafts. Was that sci-fi draft, man? That was so good. And I didn't win shit. And my list was solid as fuck.
He manages to bring this up every single time.
I do. I don't give a fuck, man. I'll die on that hill.
Man,
that
one of
list
these
was
days-
the bomb.
One of these days, Pete is gonna get his win, man. Hopefully, it's this time around. Jermon's
God, I
list
hope so.
Is
I worked hard.
Star Wars Episode 4: New Hope, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, Guardians of the Galaxy, The Lion King, Men in Black, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the 2009.
I would not have figured you to be the
Star
most
Trek.
retro out of all of these.
Which one is your IMAX?
I got to go with A New Hope, man.
All right.
Got it. You got it.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. And I'm going to end this with what I call the female vote. I'm going to go ahead.
Wonder
and
Woman's already off the table.
Aquaman was in
So is
December.
Bridesmaids.
Listen, I don't fucking care about this movie. I don't really think it's a particularly good movie, but it did come out during the summer and it did make over 100 million domestic, man. I'm just going to go ahead and take the other Heath Ledger movie that everybody talks about, A Knight's Tale.
All right.
It's going to end my
You know
joy,
what?
man.
That was early Tudyk, and I dug it.
I'm hoping that I get some Heath Ledger love, some Tudyk love.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming out of this, man. And I know I just secured my girlfriend's vote because she fucking loves it.
I love that movie. I don't give a shit. I think that movie is so much fun.
I
wish
That's
they
another
did
movie
more.
I didn't get the first time I watched it, and then had to watch it again.
Yeah.
and then
I
got
was
it.
a kid when that movie came out, and I watched it, and I was like, I want there to be more historical, goofy drama, but also like fun soundtrack stuff. Like I had fun with that movie.
As soon as they started doing We Will Rock You, I checked out. I was
No,
like,
That was where I checked out too.
That was my vibe. Like they were having a good time.
Yeah.
Like that is like I understand that you're not saying that you're super into it. I'll sell it for you. I think that movie is fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. Like it's set in an old time and they're doing an old story, but they're doing it in a modern way and they're doing it with contemporary actors. And I mean like what's her name? Shannon, what's her face?
Sossaman?
Sossaman.
there you go. Good job, Jermon.
She's got like a whole look to her that was very late 90s, early 2000s. That you like, she is not blonde or fair skinned brunette. She should not have been, according to the olden days, in a like old world movie. And she was because she has a unique look. Like, I dug that movie because it was contemporary. Like, I had fun with the soundtrack. I had fun with the people that they cast.
Okay.
I thought that, like, first of all, I always relate to characters that are chanters. I want to be that person in real life, so I just want to like be a chanter. I want to be like, and now coming out is this person. Like I want, so like just having that as like part of the members of the group, like having an actual bard, like that movie was so much fun, dude. I think that's an excellent pick.
All right. Jermon, you seen this movie?
I have not seen that.
Yeah.
It's silly. Do not take
Good
it
for
seriously.
a watch.
Yeah, do not take
If I
it
happen
seriously.
if I happen to run into it, I might check it out. But
Yeah.
it's not like
If you
It's
just
not on
keep
top
the
of your
word
list.
Yeah.
parody in mind, maybe as
Yeah.
like a that's a
It's
that's a good
somewhere
way to take
between.
that.
It's more, yeah, because it's not really. Like every time, like Richard Gere would make a movie, like First Night, this movie would come out, and then it'd be like, it's not a parody, but also like Richard Gere's taking it seriously, and these guys are not.
right.
Right now.
And I love fucking First Night.
I mean, that movie is actually
that
awesome.
movie's tits.
That movie's actually awesome.
All
that
right,
movie's
and
actually
my
awesome.
list to wrap this bad boy up: Jurassic Park, Mad Max Fury Road, The Dark Knight, Aliens, Die Hard, Iron Giant, Iron Man, Jaws, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and A Knight's Tale.
You might
This
have the
motherfucker's
most
gonna win.
dour list. You might have the most like strong, dark, dour, serious. You might have the most
think
serious
so?
list. I think so.
I think-
not in a bad way. Just like that's the vibe that you kind of got.
You
there.
can just say the Paprika list. That's what's going to happen.
Let's
over
hope.
there.
Let's hope, man. I'm looking for number 6 over here.
I'm predicting
But
that.
good media is dark.
Unlike you all who had your first choices as your IMAX, I will take my second. Mad Max Fury Road.
That is
will
the
be
Yeah.
best.
That's the answer.
possible
That's the
choice.
pick.
Yeah.
That's the pick.
will be my. I was thinking about Dark Knight, but yeah,
No,
Fury Road will
no,
be my
Fury Road.
IMAX.
I want explosions. Like that's the right answer.
All right,
Oh,
that is it.
Real quick before we dip, though, the musical movie we were all talking about.
My honorable mention is Purple Rain.
Purple Rain?
Yes. Purple
oh
Rain.
no!
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Hold on a
Yeah.
second.
Purple Rain was my
You guys
honorable
think-
mention.
What were you thinking?
Purple Rain.
Grease.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
not
that
what I
was
thinking.
in some of those lists
Yeah.
I saw.
Baby
Grease.
Driver is what I was thinking.
Oh, what a
Excellent
great film! What a
music.
great movie!
Yes.
That movie was
People
great.
shat on Baby Driver.
Whole thread of people
What?
shitting on Baby Driver.
Fuck them.
Those.
Okay, admittedly, when
I
you
said
said
it.
that, I thought that they were shitting on Purple Rain, and I was very upset.
Yeah, oh, well, yeah.
I know Prince is your guy.
Yeah, Prince is my guy. And also, like, if Con Air and Speed had been taken, Purple Rain was my final. I was like, I have to do a wild card unless I get, like, my 90s action theme going.
All right, it would've been
Purple
No,
Rain. It
I
does
have-
qualify.
I've been by the steps where he filmed that. He shot that album cover.
Grease.
Over on the Warner Brothers set.
Grease is the one that I was thinking of because it was the highest grossing summer movie in '78.
Oh, okay, right on.
Yeah. So because it followed 3 years followed the footsteps of the OG Jaws.
Yeah.
It counts as a summer blockbuster
So
because
as a
it was
note,
the biggest
we didn't.
movie that year.
None of us put a musical on there, but we all have honorable mentions for musicals. Apparently, and I would count
I
Baby
don't.
Driver.
And
for that.
apparently
I would
they're
count
all
that.
fucking different. Yeah,
Well-
actually, you should totally count Baby Driver
'Cause it's
as that
choreographed.
because it's choreographed to music.
Yeah.
but no one in the movie actually
They don't have to
sings
sing.
anything.
They're choreographed.
It's all
They're
diegetic
choreographed
music.
to
Yeah.
music. Yeah.
Oh, Lion King is very much a musical.
That's true. Fair point. Fair point.
No, that's true.
That's fair point.
All right, man. That is it for the summer blockbuster draft, man. Hopefully, you all have a safe 4th of July weekend. Please grill and drink responsibly out there. And that's it. We will be back in September with a different draft. Until then, you guys take it easy and have a good one.